O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
There's just one place to get our biggest discount on a 2024 Acura. Take up to $10,000 off. $10,000 off at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 Acura dealer in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a 2024 Corolla LE, $19,975. Need credit? If you earn at least $500 a week, we want to say you're approved at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard. Ready to rock and roll. Yes, sir. We are at Toyota of Hollywood like we are every second Wednesday of the month. Although Herbie's not here. I just talked to him right now. He's in Vegas. I'm so jealous. Anytime you're in Vegas, it's like when Miles Deep chimes in. Like, I hate it. Not because I love you, Miles Deep, but that you're in Vegas, you bastard. Damn it.
Is he there just visiting? Is he
No,
there
no,
for
they have
Canelo or
no,
the
they have
UFC? Or
they have a Toyota convention.
Oh, well, there's the fourth thing going on.
Yeah, well,
it's a busy week.
It's Vegas.
Well, it's Vegas, true, but
home of
a
conventions
lot going on. Right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, it's like you're a dentist, and yeah, we got a convention. Yeah, but it's in Vegas. Oh, yeah, you know, who cares? You're a dentist. You're in Vegas for a few days. You know what I'm saying? So it's we could have been in Vegas. Today we could have been flying out to Vegas for the fight, but we chose not to. We're going to cover the. We thought we were doing walk-ons and all that kind of stuff. Seriously, dude, the shit that's happened to us the last couple of weeks is like, damn, dude, you get walloped with the left and a right, and it just. But hey, you get knocked down, you get back up again. I've been doing this for a long time, so it's all good, and we get through it, which is a beautiful thing. We always find a way. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, please smash the hell out of the like button already when you're there, okay? We've got the news already that Raheem Mostert is out for this week, and HN is practicing. The head coach says, we'll see how, everything develops. He's kind of a game time decision, but the video shows from what these guys saw, they don't see anything right now. They see the first stretching and all. They don't really watch practice. So we don't know really what Achan is doing. We just know he's out there at least. And it didn't look like he had any sleeves on the legs or ankles or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see. It looks like he's going to play is what it looks like. But, but this is why you drafted Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright is the reason why you made this move. Because last year, by the end of the year, both Achan and Mostert were banged up. These are guys, and look, Achan's already banged up. These are guys that cannot carry a heavy load. They have to share, and this is why. And we're going to see Jalen Wright now. Although, from what I saw in the preseason game, okay, not for nothing, he looks a little bit more physical than the other two guys. Jalen Wright.
Yeah, but I believe also in college he ran more physical than.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. He's definitely.
He's more traditional, closer to a traditional NFL back that we used to know.
Yes. Yeah,
that we used to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so maybe you get a little bit more power out of that, and that helps out and a little bit more. But this is why you drafted Jalen Wright. And by the way, Wilson looked good. So you'll still have your mix of backs. Is it ideal? No, of course not, man. We want to have all the backs available. You know what I'm saying? This be awesome. But this is why you drafted Jalen Wright. So let's go. Let's bring it. Again, I'm going to go with what I said last week. There aren't enough excuses to lose the game. You need to win this game, period. Yeah.
I think the one thing is you need to keep two of the three available so the offense doesn't change up. Because, again, if Jeff Wilson goes in, it changes a little bit.
Right.
He's more of the physical guy that's going to be ending the games as we need to run the clock down, whereas you have Mostert, A-Chain, right? They're going to be doing the offense.
Exactly. You are correct. Ohio John, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo, Cash App, or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App, or Venmo. Appreciate you. He says, you talked about McDaniel's conditioning and practice regime the other day. Don Shula's 4 days as well, documented. But what Coach Shula would, and I'm trying to pull up now the entire thing because I'm having a little trouble with reception in here for my phone. So I got a part of the message, but I'm not trying to get now. I kind of understand what you're talking about there. Basically, Ohio John, football's changed, bro. And it's just the way it is. They don't practice a lot, so you're going to get sloppy play at the beginning. And that's kind of what you got in that first half, a lot of sloppy play, and then they got better in the second half. And I think it's going to take a couple of weeks. And on top of all of that, I think your bodies are not built to take the punishment anymore that it used to be. Because I truly feel that if you are built for punishment by hitting often, then you develop a toughness for that. You know, I'll give you an example. Here's my analogy to that. Pitching. Anybody pitch complete games anymore? Are they going 200-plus innings? Okay. Right. It's all specialized, 5-6 innings. They're out, whatever. You remember a few years back, for you Rangers fans, when Nolan Ryan took over for a short amount of time, and I believe they got to the World Series under Nolan Ryan, if I'm correct. They didn't win it, but they got to the World Series, I want to say. And he started to retrain his pitchers to go more the distance. But the problem is, and it didn't last, even though they had some success. Wow, oh my God, Texas focusing on pitching. You know, only if we did that when we had Gonzalez and A-Rod and Pudge. And I mean, remember that Texas offense, dude? Bro, that Texas offense was some bad mofos, man.
They were like every NFL team. You have the offense and no defense.
It was Marino.
You get the defense and
it was Marino.
Exactly.
Score a bunch of points and your defense allows more. So I think we've gotten into this rut where now the pitcher is not. He is being taken care of right from embryonic stages all the way up. So they're not built to be horses anymore. And in football, they're not built to be horses anymore. And it's a battle of attrition, but it's just, hey, let's see whose country tough enough to last. Because it must come like from a Zach Sealer. Some dude that's fighting gators in the swamp, and that his off time is just as rough as his football time. So then when he gets into the trenches, it doesn't matter to him. And he plays every down and all that. Think about it. How many Zach Sealers are there? Everybody's a damn specialist. Everybody's always injured and banged up and this and that. And here's Zach Sealer carrying around trailers on his back and fighting alligators in his off time. And maybe that's why he's tougher than most guys. Maybe that's why he lasts a little bit more, because he puts his body through more. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. You know what I'm saying? But it's just rare now that the football player at running back is a bell cow. Like what Saquon doesn't exist. What Derrick Henry is unimaginable anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just rare to find those kind of guys. And that's football now, man. And the body has been trained to be not as durable. I truly believe that. And so then that's why we see more injuries probably than ever. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't help that they're bigger, stronger, and faster now than ever. So if you don't condition it both ways, not just athletically, but physically, it just, it's not going to work. And then this is what you deal with. And because they're worth so much money, you then have to worry about the risk. I can't push him because I'm paying him so much money. And if I push it too far, I bust him in half. He's out for the season. And I got the owner knocking on my door going, hey, what the hell? I'm paying this guy $9 million and he's out for the year? Catch 22 all over the place. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and to piggyback on it, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but also I think one of the things too is that now everything is, as you said, specialized, but not only specialized as far as positions, training.
Yeah.
Now you have not saying it's a bad thing, but it used to be when I was in high school, if you lifted weights, you played football. That's how it's perceived. Oh, he's lifting weight. Oh, he must play football. Now you've got agility training, you've got speed training, you've got weight training, there's just training on balance and everything else, that everything starts becoming so specialized you're not just focused on one thing anymore.
Physicality.
Yeah, physicality. Yeah.
The physicality is not the focus anymore. And so then when you run into the physicality, you run into injuries. Why? Because you didn't have a physical practice. You didn't have 2 physical practices a day.
Talking about 2 physical practices a day. Did they have 2 the whole training camp?
Maybe
some of the joint practices might have got a little bit
physical.
But
that was on and off.
Yeah.
They were physical in the afternoon and
well,
then
no.
and
But
then,
I mean, with Mike McDaniel, did they ever have 2 total?
No.
Like,
They haven't had that
I know
for
it's
years.
nowhere close to Shula. No.
No, they haven't had that for years.
No, but I mean the physicality, the practice physicality. Not that I know there's no 2-a-days and all that stuff anymore. But even the physicality wasn't even close.
No,
at 2 practices, much less every day.
Not even close. And Flo was a little bit more physical because he came from that school, but still, it wasn't even physical enough. You know what I'm saying? He had more of a disciplinarian approach, not so much the physicality. It was the disciplinarian approach, the whole wall thing and all that kind of stuff. So he added a little extra level of toughness. It's really hard nowadays. It's really hard. And then he comes from the Shanahan school, which that's not what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of that's how all of them do it. That's how they run it in Green Bay, and that's how they run it in where are the other San Francisco. And even with San Francisco, I'll give them credit. They find a way to be a little bit more physical in the running game. You know what I'm saying? But again, was it Morgan, right? Is that the name of the kid? Morgan? Mason. The Mason kid, you could tell he's more of a physical back than the guys that we have. And that's why I brought up the Jalen Wright thing, because looking at his body, it looks to me like he's more of a physical player overall. And I think that's really cool. And so maybe we'll see a little bit more of a physical edge from Jalen Wright than we would from Achane or definitely Mostert. Yes.
And I think on the Monday night game, I don't know if you heard the broadcast or something, but they were talking about the running back coach. And the running back coach that is with Shanahan here in San Fran was the one that was with his dad.
Oh, okay.
There. So he's going through the whole thing. And he stays there because he always finds I just forgot his name. The Mason, the Mason type where it's one step and they hit the hole.
Mike Anderson, Orlando Gary,
yes,
all that kind of stuff.
All those late draft pick, but they hit the hole and they go.
Well, Terrell Davis was in an early pick.
No, he's 6th round, I believe.
Yeah. They were on a roll.
Yeah. Oh no, they were, and so that's what they look for, as you said. It's the one step and then go north and south instead of keep going east and west. Once you put your foot down, you go.
Yes, they definitely don't screw around. Let me see here real quickly. I'm trying to get some reception here for my phone, so I'm having trouble reading the Venmos because I know that Ray, you just sent the Venmo in. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you as always, my brother. He says lunch on me. Thank you, my man. That is very kind of you. Very kind of you. I appreciate it. So thank you, Ohio John. Thank you, Ray. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can send a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate that. Thank you out there, all of you. Appreciate it immensely. All right, let's see. Big O, Bob Gibson career across 482 games started. He pitched 56 shutouts and 255 complete games. He actually got pissed off if the manager wanted to take him out. Yeah. Those were the days. It's just the whole game. All of sports has changed. Is basketball the physical brand that we saw in the 80s and the 90s? Are you kidding me, dude? I mean, these people have no idea what it was like going through the paint in the 90s and the 80s. You would get hammered, bro. Now they roll a red carpet for you, and it's just. And imagine if you all of a sudden started playing 90s basketball right now, everybody would get injured.
everybody would be on the IR, except a couple of freaks that are just country strong. Those Tim Bowens, the aforementioned Zach Sealer. There's, those freaks. There's that guy in your neighborhood. Anyway, so does it look good? Yeah, I'm pointing at Sean. There's that guy in your neighborhood. It's just like a big, strong, tough dude. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Just natural strength. And then that dude can play anywhere at any time in any era. Jim Brown, doesn't matter. It just got Will Chamberlain, doesn't matter. He can play an athletic era. He can play in a physical era. You know, that's what I'm talking about. There's only a couple of those guys. Those are the only guys who are going to be able to continue to play physical like that all the time. That's what Derrick Henry is, that guy. He's that guy. He's our modern day Jim Brown. Put it that way. For you kiddies out there, do you know who Jim Brown is? He's Derrick Henry. Okay? And actually, he's Derrick Henry more athletic. That's how scary Jim Brown was, okay? But, it's just one of those things. It's just changed. It's just changed. And that's why it's even worse, the Sunday to Thursday thing for them. And this is why I was a little off at pregame going, wait a minute, why is this guy inactive? Why is this guy inactive? And then remember, I figured it out as the game went on, and I think it was postgame, right? By the time of postgame, I figured it out. I go, this is what right, and right. I was talking to Furonis, and the light went on, or Perkins, or somebody, and the light went on. And now I figured it out. They kept him just in case. And look, now you had Mostert get banged up, and HN, and Wright is fresh. This is great. So this is what you needed. And I personally would not play Phillips tomorrow. That's just me. I would give him the 2 weeks. He's coming off a very serious injury. He has had a marvelous recovery. I don't think you want, and he's been injury prone in the past. I just don't think you want to play a guy off an Achilles surgery all 4 days. That's just me. And that's where I would say the Mohamed Kamara inactive, I'm activating Mohamed. And I'm inactive Jalen Phillips. I know fanboys out there, fangirls, oh, no, we need him all. And I get it, and he got a sack and all that, but I want him long-term, And I'm just I don't find it to be a good idea to play him tomorrow. That's just me.
And to go off I believe they're probably going to end up playing him. But even if you do activate Kamara, you can keep him closer to that pitch count, right? Whereas during the first game, they let him go over the pitch, which because it was a close game.
Right.
But now if you activate Kamara, now maybe you can keep him more on that pitch count depending. And then I think also the other thing too is it going to be raining? The field. I mean, as you're looking at the game time, they're here.
Oh, I didn't even look at that. Is there some?
I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I'm spitballing. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. But
you're throwing some Doppler shit on me.
Well, no, because some of that's going to. I would figure that would play into it.
Doppler.
It's got to figure into it, right? If it's a wet field, you don't play them. You're not Jake Longing them.
No, definitely not Jake Longing. So what's the Sean Doppler say for a Thursday? What's the Sean Doppler say? So we need to know. True Fin fan, by the way, is number one there in the chat board. Again, smash it, bro. We got 166 watching, only 54 likes. Don't understand it. Come on, give us a like there. Kyle Cockrell, Jay Slim, NorCal is in and smoking. Oscar Rojas is in Melbourne. Steve Chapman is in. Giovanni, ready for high noon. Big Johnson says, I used the Hard Rock app and got the 100 back. Thanks, Big O, for helping me win some money. Worked out pretty nice. There you go. Remember, use our QR code, put that thing up there for Hialeah Park, or you go right through the Hialeah Park website and you sign up. Don't use the same phone number or email that you have for your regular Hard Rock account because it is tied with the Hard Rock. And so you sign up and you make your first bet. You get your $100 no regret first bet, and you're ready to go, baby. Ready to go, just like Big Johnson.
Sean Doppler.
Everybody wants to be Big Johnson. Yes, I'm sorry.
80 degrees, cloudy, occasional showers late at night, low near 80. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain is 70%.
Really? 70%?
Yeah. Yeah. And then it drops down to 40 at about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's going to vary. I don't know. But again, if it starts raining at all, I don't put them on the field.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Again, that's just me.
Yeah. They won, Oscar. That's my grade. I'm not worried about style points. I know the first half sucked and the second half was magical. Find a way to win a game. It's the NFL, man. Just find a way. Get me to 2-0 this week. That's all I want. Captain Saki says Raheem Chestnut looking like he's a go. Let's see what Tennessee boy can do. That's right. That's right. Saki, you should be getting your package very soon that you ordered. And thank you for supporting the platform. If the Finns can make Allen commit turnovers and mistakes, they'll have a great chance. I agree. I'm going to talk about that soon. Good afternoon, Big O and Sean. By the way, we will have Jay Skurski joining us in a couple of minutes. Chef Jew is in the house. Nyborg in. Remember, you can also Miles Deep. There you are. Bastard, you're in Vegas. Damn it. There's so much this weekend and Friday the 13th, so much the next month. We have the Eagles performing. Shut up, Miles. Show off. Damn it. Creme de la Clutch Exotics. Because I like to.
Oh, shit.
I like seeing Tua take the short runs when he can. Yes, so do I. I'm with you there. That will change the whole dynamic of our team. He has to take them when they give it to him. You know what I'm saying? If it's there, don't force anything. Take the 5, 7, 11 yards. Win me the bet. I love it. Wright is going to pump up huge numbers tomorrow playing him on FanDuel. Good for you. I hope you win, my brother. I hope you win. Big O, what's your favorite steak joint in Miami? Craving a steak spot this weekend. You know, I got to tell you something. I'm not smart enough to tell you. I don't go out enough anymore here in South Florida to really tell you where the best steak is. Okay? I've learned that now. But I will tell you, I don't know where you're staying. I love freaking New York Prime. Okay? It's right on the southern part of Palm Beach County, northern part of Broward, I think it is. And New York Prime is a fantastic place. By the way, for appetizer, have the garlic shrimp, and you will remember me forever. But I love their steaks. So that's a place that I would definitely tell you that, okay, go enjoy that. But in Miami, I can't really tell you because some new places have opened up. I haven't been to them. Hell, I didn't even know the Forge had closed the last time somebody asked me. So
there's a couple of people throwing stuff in the chat. I just don't know how good these places are.
And so I can't tell you about something I don't know. See, I'm that guy. I don't have a problem telling you when I don't know something. I don't know it. I'll tell you. I have no problem. You know, I'm not gonna act like I know everything. But if I think I know it, you'll find out. That's for sure. Ribeye at Bourbon Steak. Okay, I've never been there. New York Prime is unbelievable. We have one in Myrtle Beach too. There you go. Chris agrees. New York Prime is freaking the bomb, dude. The bomb. Chico's, yes, it's good for the Palomilla steak, but I think he's looking for a little bit more high end. But yeah, Chico's is fantastic. Dolphins, Daddy, the Bills coming to town. Time to make Daddy go home crying. Let's hope so. Did you watch the debate yesterday? Oh man, yeah. She won. She baited him into everything. I'm still not voting for her ass, but she won. He needed to be the guy that was against Biden. Calm, cool. She baited him into everything, made him look silly, and he started doing all the the eating of the pets and all that, and they're making fun of him. It just that it was not good for him yesterday. Not good for him. He got baited. But what are you going to do? And then the Swifties came out, and so now she's got the Beehive and the Swifties. I don't know if she'll win. I'm a Bitcoin guy, so I'm not a Trump guy. So I need the Republicans to win. Technically, I do because I think it'll be better for Bitcoin. But she looks like.
Thing with the Swifties is what, like 70% probably can't, isn't old
No,
enough to
bro.
vote
She's
yet,
been
right?
around since 2006.
Oh, you're right. So yeah, and as they've grown
Come on,
up,
man.
yeah, okay.
She has millions and millions of followers over 18. That's not. Some guy told me that, and I said, bro, that's silly. That's just ridiculous. There's a lot of it's. Backstreet Boys still sells out places. Do you think they're just kids that are going there, or they're all old people from those days?
Old people, but I look at it as.
The girl that loves her in 2006 and 2010 and 2012 is still listening in 2024 as an adult. She still loves her Taylor Swift, dude. Still, there's plenty of. I saw where you remember where they had that terrorist thing or whatever, an attempt, and then they canceled the concert somewhere in Europe. Well, all the Swifties were already there for the concert. So go look at the video of them going to the downtown area in the center square, and they all got together and started singing Swiftie songs. And they're all, if they traveled there, dude, what do you think? Or, most of them think about. But yeah, it was entertaining. All right, are we ready? The Skurski man is ready to go. I love it. All right, Jay Skurski from the Buffalo News, ready to rock and roll. Let's see. The boys that own the they own the Dolphins are coming to town. The man that owns the Dolphins are coming to town. And the man that's been covering the team that owns the Dolphins. Are you coming to town too, Jay?
I am coming to town. I'll be down there first thing tomorrow morning. Thursday night game, sneaking out of here a little later than normal. It would have been nice to get down to Florida a day early, but responsibilities here. So I'll be landing early in the morning down in Fort Lauderdale.
Good for you. All right, man. So, and then you're right back out on Friday?
Yeah, in and out. Usually I like to extend this trip a little bit if I can, but Thursday night game.
News. Come on, Buffalo News. Spend a couple. Let the guy hang out in South Florida for the weekend. Go back on Sunday.
Yeah,
Come on,
listen,
Jay.
Say it louder, right? For the people in the back, the bosses in the back, right? Come on.
Come on. He works hard. He deserves a couple of days in the sun. Yeah. Yeah. No, man. So, all right. So that's good. At least you'll be down here. And obviously this is, for the Bills, it's, hey, let's just continue what we've been doing. And for Josh, hey, this is my favorite team to play against. And then the narrative on this side, you know what I do like? I like that McDaniel doesn't really dodge it. It's like, hey, man, it's going to be there, and we got to do something about it. So it's interesting how the narratives are completely different from one end to the other.
Yeah, and listen, the games have been getting closer. The last 5 meetings between the Bills and Dolphins, I think, have been decided by one score. You go back before those 5, and the Bills were really taking it to them. And so I think if you're Miami, right, you're looking, and you guys can speak on this better than I can, but you're looking at this game as saying, all right, hey, we've been close. This is the hurdle that we need to overcome. I don't know how they look at this game any differently. I think, quite frankly, this game is bigger for the Dolphins than it is for the Bills. Right, exactly. And so, but listen, it's a big game for the Bills too. Based on their schedule here early in the year, this starts a really tough run for this team. They've got Jacksonville, they've got Baltimore, they've got a big game against Houston and Stephon Diggs coming up, and then they're on the road at New York. So the schedule in the beginning of the season for the Bills is not easy. And if you were able to get off to a 2-0 start, kick back this weekend, watch everyone else play, you're going to feel really, really good about this start to the season. Same thing for Miami. The team that wins this is going to really like their position after a couple of weeks. And so, as far as week 2 goes, this is a really intriguing, really important early season matchup.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right. So tell me about the hand injury for Josh Allen. How serious is it?
Well, I mean, it's serious. You wonder, for me, obviously it's his non-throwing hand, right? So he's going to be able to throw the ball. That's not a concern. But you wonder, is he going to be able to take snaps the same way under center? Is he going to be the biggest thing for me? Is he going to be effective as a runner? Are they going to try to curb some of that running? How wrapped is the hand going to be? We saw him wearing a glove in practice yesterday. What does that look like? And what kind of limitations does that put on him, particularly as a runner? Because we've seen so often, and including in week 1, he is dynamic running the football. I mean, it's really the Bills' cheat code. And we've seen probably against Miami more so than any other team. I mean, he's made guys look foolish at times running the football out in the open field. And so it's impossible.
Horse, bro.
Yeah,
he's a Clydesdale. It's impossible to bring that sumbitch down, bro.
Yeah, it's impossible to defend, quite frankly, in many ways. And so that to me is the big question. We don't know the answer. Allen has said he's fine. He practiced fully. The team is going to minimize it as much as they can. I don't think we're really going to know, though, until the game gets started and we see if he's doing Josh Allen type things or if they're trying to protect that hand a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And what I do like is that once Brady took over, not that I like it for us, but for you guys and for Josh himself, once Brady took over from our boy from Miami, Dorsey, and by the way, they did the same thing in Baltimore. They tried, Lamar tried to be more of a pocket passer, and they scrapped that, and he lost the weight. They went and added Derrick Henry, and they're like, let's get back to what we are. And Brady, I think, hey, let's get back to what Josh is. And we've had this conversation before about, well, should you run him? You put him at risk, this and that. You have to run him. You have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weapon that he has. It's who he is, just like Cam was. And if you don't use it, you make him actually not nearly as effective.
And I think at the beginning of last season, that was evident. You go back to the season opener last year against the Jets. Looked like there were a couple of opportunities at least that Allen could have run. He didn't. And I'll be totally honest with you. I've flip-flopped on this. I've gone back and forth. I've said they're running him too much. They've got to do a better job protecting him. And then you see they're 6-6 at the end of last year, and you go, you know what? He's Josh Allen. Just let him be Josh Allen. And if he gets hurt, nobody's rooting for it. Obviously, it'd be catastrophic for the Bills' season. You don't want to see it, but you've got to trust that a guy in his 7th year in the league knows how to protect himself as best as possible. And you just can't take that element away from him. It's too meaningful for the Bills' offense. He's too good at it, honestly, to take out of his game. And so at this point, I say run the guy as much as he wants to run. Let him do his thing. Josh Allen is at his best when he is out of the pocket. He's broke structure. He's making plays. He's making crazy throws. That's just who the guy is. And you have to hope at the end of those runs that he knows to protect himself, or he knows, hey, it's not worth fighting for an extra yard here. I've already got the first down. Step out of bounds. But don't curb the running because he's just too good at it.
If we take the run away from Cam, does he ever become an MVP? Does his team ever get to the Super Bowl? No, of course not. Yeah. And so unfortunately, Lamar too it's the same thing. It's just different statures, but now Josh can take more punishment than Lamar, but that's the game. That's who they are, and you can't stop it. And so now Miami's got to prepare for even with a bad hand, and it's not the non-throwing hand for folks out there that may not know. Miami has to prepare for running Josh Allen, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, 20 rushing touchdowns in his last 20 games. That's an absurd total. And it's just, it shows what he is. I mean, he is their best goal line runner. He's their best short yardage runner. He is, I mean, he just, it's too much of a weapon. You've got to prepare for, if you're Miami, you know it all too well. You've seen it time and again. The guy's dynamic when he gets out into the open field, how he can make yardage, make guys miss. Maybe they just underestimate how athletic he is. And then he's tough. I mean, he's huge. He's not an easy guy to bring down. So yeah, that's something that Miami, I'm sure, is preparing for.
Of course, we're talking with Jay Skurski from the Buffalo News. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Jay Skurski. The Teron Johnson slot corner, he's out for this game. How big of a loss is that?
Well, particularly against this team, the Dolphins, and the speed that they possess, across the board offensively, it's big. I mean, Taron Johnson's one of the best slot corners in the NFL. He's paid like it. The Bills, up and down the roster, the coaching staff all say it. They believe he is the best nickel cornerback in the NFL. That, to me, might be the hardest position in the league to play, just because of where they put. You're lining up against some dynamic wide receivers in there. Yeah. And
you've got to, that's why you're a left or a right side corner, because you only excel usually on those sides, because habitually, kind of like right and left tackles, you have a strength of a movement to one way or another. Those slot guys, their hips have to be able to move left and right equally as fast, and you have to be equally as good moving to right to left.
Yeah, and the other thing about Taron Johnson that's very underrated is just how willing of a run stopper he is and tackler. I mean, the guy will stick his nose in there. He's oftentimes probably the smallest guy on the field, never plays like it. I mean, he just absolutely dog mentality when it comes to stopping the run. And so it's a big loss. There's no question about it. I will say that Cam Lewis, the player that replaced him in the lineup last week, he's been in this system with Buffalo for 6 years in varying roles. He's played safety. He's played slot corner. He's a special teams guy. Really, really good game in week 1. I mean, excellent game. If you to put the film on and you would say, boy, that's a starter in the league. I think a lot needs to be, he deserves a lot of credit for stepping in the way that he did. It's not been an easy road for him. He's been a practice squad player, active roster player, actually went to school up here at the University of Buffalo. So it's a pretty good feel-good story. That being said, this is a step up in weight class for Cam Lewis going again, from the Cardinals, their wide receiver core, maybe one of the definitely in the bottom half in the NFL. I would say Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe will change that, but he's still a rookie. Now you're going against maybe the best, right? Hill and Waddle, everybody knows, and we'll see who plays at running back, but they're obviously loaded there. And so, yeah, for Cam Lewis, this is going to be a big challenge. And I would expect that the Bills, tailor their game plan defensively to knowing that and trying to put Cam in situations where he's not maybe one-on-one against those receivers as much as possible.
Jay, can Jordan Poyer really make much of a difference?
No. Listen. Yeah.
I'm saying information.
I mean, he knows what the Bills do. I mean, no question. I mean, he could have coached the Bills defense last year, him and Micah Hyde. That's how well versed in Sean McDermott's scheme they were. So, tendencies, what the Bills like to run, what Josh Allen likes to do. Of course, Poyer knows that, but with the amount of turnover in this league and free agency and players going to different teams, coaches are used to this, right? They know that things are, that there's a chance that they're going up against the guy who used to be in their building pretty much weekly, right? And so while Poyer maybe has as much knowledge as any player in the league of the Bills defense, we should point out that the Bills do have a new first-year defensive coordinator in Bobby Babich, who's calling the plays. So Poyer doesn't know what Babich's tendencies are as a play caller because he hasn't been here for it. We don't know what Babich's tendencies are as a play caller because he's got all of one game of experience doing it. Now, Bobby Babich was Jordan Poyer's position coach. So no question, there's some familiarity there. I am sure that Poyer is talking to Tua about, some things, and it can be helpful in some regard. Do I think in any way, though, that it tips the scales in this game in a really meaningful way? I really don't. I just think that, guys change teams so often in this league that I think that coaching staffs are accustomed to accounting for that, if you will.
And there's a crap ton of plays.
Yeah.
So, and you run a ton of plays from one type of formation.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to decipher and get that information to your offense or defense, whether you're Mike White, whether you're Poyer, in time anyway, dude. Yeah. So you're going to have to be prepared way ahead of time for all the formations and all the options out of each of those formations and all that kind of stuff. So to me, I like how we in the media and fans like to make a big deal about this, but it really, in a game-like situation, it is almost near impossible for that information to really translate. Now, can it help you in a specific play? Hey, if you see this, guaranteed this is going to happen. Or yeah, that could happen, a nugget or something, and it could be the difference in a game. Okay, but are you really going to be able to call people's plays out and all that? Or are you going to really know everything going on? Like, I don't know, like Harbaugh did in Michigan? No. That's not going to be the case.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I'll be interested to see. Obviously, the Bills know Poyer well too, right? I mean, it kind of goes both ways. Josh Allen knows he went up against Jordan Poyer a lot in practice. So you don't think that Josh Allen maybe has some tendencies on Jordan Poyer, maybe what his strengths are as a player, what his weaknesses are as a player, and maybe where to attack him and maybe get him in a position. So this information exchange goes both ways.
Yeah, dude. And again, in a split second on the field within 35 seconds, and you only have it till what the headset cuts off what it's 16, 17 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you have 17 seconds. Bro, no, it's just not gonna happen, man. Yeah. It's just but it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Now, it could one play. One specific thing you're looking for, that definitely could come into play for Mike White, for Poyer, for any former player going up against their team. That definitely could be the case. All right, talk to me about the receivers that Miami is facing. The Keon Coleman kid had a nice opening. 4 for 51 is solid. Matt Collins, a former Dolphin, a guy I freaking love, by the way. I love Matt Collins, dude. I think he's one of the perfect locker room guys. He helps you out on special teams. He is clutch, tough guy as a receiver, all that stuff. I really like him. I think he's a perfect number 3, number 4 in any team and can be really, really productive. And then the Shakir kid. So talk to me about the receivers.
Yeah, so the offseason mantra up here, if you will, has been everybody eats, right? You've replaced Stephon Diggs. I guess I should say you haven't really replaced Stephon Diggs. You don't have a legitimate, true number 1 wide receiver. I think everybody can look at the Bills depth chart and sort of see that. But you do have a number of different sort of weapons, a variety of different players. We should mention Dalton Kincaid. I think if you look at the attention that the Cardinals paid to him last year, I mean, last week. I mean, there were times where he was 3 Cardinals were covering him. Sometimes 4 were around him. So Kincaid is a big part of this, whether that means, how much defenses are paying attention to him. He didn't get the ball a lot in the first game, but I think he's got that ability. Then you get to the receivers. The top 3 are Shakir, Coleman, and Curtis Samuel. I think, most people know Curtis Samuel now. He's kind of a, you might even see him get some carries, jet sweep action, that kind of player. Shakir, his contact balance is out of this world. I mean, if you saw the touchdown he scored last week against Arizona, last year in the playoff game against Pittsburgh, I mean, the guy just ping-pongs off of defenders, really hard to bring down, really good balance. Had a huge play in the regular season finale last year against Miami. If you remember that play, he kind of catches a short crosser and he gets the sideline and he is gone. And it's, 50-something yard gain. That play alone, I think of often when I think of Shakir, because to that point, I didn't realize that he had that type of speed. It's not Tyreek Hill speed, but it's game-changing speed. It's speed that you have to respect. And then, Coleman, you mentioned their first pick of the second round, the Bills' first pick of the draft. 4 for 51, I thought was a really promising start. I think there's more there in terms of kind of learning, the nuances of playing wide receiver in the NFL. But, you look at the production of rookie wide receivers throughout the league in week 1, and he was near the top of the list. And, most targeted, most catches on the team. So I think there's some things to build there. Again, much different philosophy, if you will, of building weapons. You look at the Dolphins and it's Hill and Waddle, and they've paid these guys $1 billion. The Bills are going kind of the opposite way, where we're going to spread the ball out a lot. And you mentioned Hollins, even as the 4th wide receiver, had a nice touchdown catch in the opener against Arizona. So, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the number 5 is kind of the deep threat. He had an opportunity in week 1. Allen overthrew the ball a little bit, but MVS did get open deep. They're going to play all 5 of those guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if all 5 of them have catches in this game. That's just sort of the philosophy of the Bills' offense this year.
Yeah, are you expecting a high-scoring game?
I mean, it's hard not to, right? I mean, the Bills definitely had some deficiencies on defense in the opener, particularly in the first half. I think they did make some really nice adjustments in the second half, but again, You're going up a level. You're going up a weight class here against Miami. Early in the year in particular, I think Josh Allen and the Bills offense know, hey, we've got to kind of carry the weight here for this team, while this defense with so many changes kind of finds its way. And, I can't tell you that I watched every game of week 1, but it's only one game, but Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns, two throwing, 2 on the ground. It's hard for me to say right now that there's a player that's better in the NFL, maybe taking Patrick Mahomes out of the equation.
Oh, yeah,
Allen is just that good. I mean, he is so darn good. He means so much to this team. And given the way that he's played against the Dolphins in his career, I wrote this in our predictions. I said, until Miami shows it, I'm not going to pick them to beat the Bills. They've got to actually go do it.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, what is he? 11-2 or something against?
He's 11-2, and the 2 losses are right there. I mean, they're Charles Clay drop in the end zone when Allen's a rookie, and then a couple years ago, it's about 150 degrees on the Bills sideline. They're dropping like flies, and they get right to the goal line, and they're not able to punch it in. So, I mean, he's legitimately 2 plays away from being undefeated against Miami in his career.
By the way, I still, every time anybody mentions Charles Clay, all I can think of is his agent and me at the combine around 2 a.m, and I'm pissing him off. He goes, "What do you think about Charles Clay?" And I go, "Bro," he was on the Dolphins at that time. And I go, "He plays small, man." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's fast and he gets separation, he'll catch, but he doesn't play up in the air."
Yeah.
And oh no, he can do that. I go, well, he doesn't. I'm sorry, bro. And Harold was pissed at me for the rest of the night. And I was like, man, you asked me, bro. What do you want me to tell you? I like the guy. He did have speed qualities to him, and that kind of. He didn't have great hands either, if I remember correctly. Right? It wasn't. They weren't super good, and he definitely did not play up in the air.
No, yeah, and that's probably the play. I think, honestly, most Bills fans, if they think about Charles Clay, they might remember that one because Allen, he put his Superman cape on in that game, and he's a rookie. He's figuring it out, and he goes down to Miami, and he just does just about everything to win that game, and he makes the throw. Was not a great throw. It was a ball that, it's probably 50-50 to blame. Allen should have thrown it a little further. Clay he got both hands on it, probably still should have made the catch. But yeah, I think that play
he's not
comes
that
up
guy
often.
For that. He's not Kincaid.
Yeah.
The 50-50 ball is 80-20 for him.
Sure. Yeah.
You understand?
I mean,
it's like when we used to have a Rondé Gadsden here, it was just throw it up, and it didn't matter who was covering him. You weren't going to beat him in the jump ball because he had hands like they were banana bundles. You ever shook hands with Rondé Gadsden? Like your hand disappears because the fingers are this long, and you wonder why he never dropped anything or he caught crap with one hand. It says, "Yo, bro, you're like E.T. and shit." You know what I'm saying? and those kind of, and Clay was just not that guy. He just couldn't fight for the ball. I mean, you didn't want to throw it up in the air for him. That just wasn't his game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
Kincaid is, he's got great hands. That certainly is one of his strengths, and I would not be surprised at all to see them want to get Kincaid sort of involved here.
They have 2 tight ends, right?
Yeah, Knox is a really good. I mean, they paid him. Red zone threat. He's become kind of one of the targets down in the red zone because of his size, and he's traditionally been pretty good down in that area of the field.
And dude, tight ends. This is why I think actually Tua is going to have his best year ever. You didn't see enough of it this week, but all throughout training camp in the preseason, they're going to throw more to the backs and they're going to throw to Jonnu. And maybe I think they'll throw in this game a lot more to Jonnu. And what they're going to do for Tua that they hadn't done the first 2 years is the easy pass is going to be there more. You got to throw more to your backs and your tight ends because those are higher percentage passes. And they didn't throw enough to their backs, and they certainly didn't even use the tight end pretty much the first 2 years. And as you know, everybody that comes off that Shanahan tree, all their offenses use the tight end except this one the first 2 years. Whereas the tight end, see, the Bills get it. Hey, man, let's invest in our tight ends because that is a high percentage pass, and that helps every quarterback in the history of the game.
Yeah, no question about it. And you're absolutely right. The Bills will run a lot of plays with Knox and Kincaid on the field at the same time. They like the versatility that gives them. They like the ability to run the ball out of those formations. James Cook, Miami kid, is coming off a Pro Bowl year and is a really good player for this Bills offense. I don't know that he gets maybe the run nationally just yet.
Because he's in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's probably it. But I mean, listen, he had 70 yards rushing, over 100 from scrimmage last week, and you look at the numbers that he put up last year. You really have to account for James Cook, and being able to have two tight ends on the field does give, I think, the Bills offense a lot of versatility.
A year or two of playoff runs for James Cook, and then he'll get all the recognition that that he deserves. But there's no doubt there's a guy that has manufactured his way into forcing you to respect him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can hurt you. I mean, he's really good at that jump cut and picking up 5 or 6 yards as opposed to 2 or 3. One knock on him last year, rightfully so, was his hands. He struggled with some high profile drops, but he's a factor in the passing game too. So that's another, kind of going back to what we talked about before about how the Bills like to spread the ball around. It's not just the receivers and tight ends; they've got running backs that can catch it as well.
All right, my prediction is Finns are going to do it, baby. 29-26. They're going to survive. Yep. You say Bills win what?
I had it as 28-24 in the paper today. I do think, we're looking at a close game. I think we're looking at a fairly high scoring, over 50 points in the game. But it's hard for me to pick against Josh Allen against Miami. As I said earlier, I need to see it from the Dolphins. They've got to go out and do it. They've got to beat them.
You need to see it a few times.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
Even once.
Yep.
And by the way, Tua said that himself in the press conference this week.
Yeah.
He goes, this is going to be a thing for us until we start beating them more often. Yeah. Not just winning. Like he wasn't talking about just winning on Thursday, winning more often, because really it's not a rivalry.
Yeah.
I always laugh at Knicks fans. Hey, the rivalry. I'm like, bro, there ain't no rivalry. He trashed the freaking Knicks every time. Get the hell out of my face.
Yeah.
And this isn't a rivalry, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't a rivalry. When you're getting trashed every time and you lose every time, it's not a rivalry. Rivalries, you got to start winning your share, dude. And, got to start one day. We'll see.
Yeah.
Safe travels, my brother. Thank you for taking time as always. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. You got it. Thanks for having me.
You got it. There you go. Jay Skurski, the Buffalo News, Bills beat writer, always kind enough to join us on the program. And what's he going to do, dude? He has to pick the Bills. Everybody in Buffalo has to feel ultra confident every time they take on the Dolphins, because our boys have been their bitches the entire time. So until our guys figure it out and start winning often, we're not going to feel good about this. How do you feel about the Patriots lately? Now you're like, they're not even competition anymore, right? Because now you've been slapping them around since you have Tua. With Belichick, without Belichick, you own the Patriots now. But the Bills is the one that they got to overcome that monster. Again, I love that they know this and they don't dodge it. They know that this is the game that people want you to start winning. And in order for you to do it often, you got to start once. And hopefully tomorrow, 29-26, Miami Dolphins. All right. By the way, we are here at Toyota of Hollywood. And by the way, the Cross is a beautiful vehicle, the hybrid, the LE, the SE, the RAV4. Man, the RAV4 is absolutely gorgeous. I've got a Camry right here in front of me. Got the Camry hybrid, the Toyota Crown, the Prius, the Prime. Got a Prius right here in front of me also. The BZ4X, the Supra, the Mirai. I mean, they've got all kinds of different vehicles out here at Toyota of Hollywood. And what you're going to love is that if you're looking for a vehicle and you like this RAV4 that's out here, well, you go upstairs and they probably have 30, 40, 50, 60 RAV4s up there. You go up there and you're looking for a Corolla, like my daughter was a few months, I don't know, like 9 months ago already now. And she went up there and they had like 100 different Corollas. You're looking for a Camry. What kind? You want a hybrid? You want a regular Camry, an LE, an SE? and it's all there for you. And you can get it in whatever color you want. And that's what you're going to. Oh, by the way, it gets hot out here, sometimes even rainy. Well, at Toyota of Hollywood, they've got thousands of cars on the roof. Okay? They got like 2,000 cars here. There's a few outside. So what, like 1,900 are on the roof or 1,800 on the roof? So most of them are on the roof. Even if it's hot, it won't be that hot. Even if it's raining, you won't get wet. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Even if the weather's a little and you're like, oh, it's too hot to go. Well, not at Toyota of Hollywood, dude. Come on out here. Check it out. And they've got a beautiful service center. I see DeLucci's over there, DeLucco's, by the way, over there, Subways. So while you're relaxing, waiting for your car to get the oil change, rotate the tires, whatever it is that you need to do, they got a beautiful service center there. So check it out. 1841 North State Road 7. It is here in Hollywood. It is Toyota of Hollywood. All right. What do we have here? Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Holland going to try to knock that ball out of Allen and Etienne's hands. Let's hope so. Let's hope he can punch it out. Josh is a pure athlete. You don't limit his running. You can't. But Zach, I'm with Jay. I'm the dude that went back and forth like, no, dude, you shouldn't run him so much. That's dangerous. But I figured out that this guy can't be a real quarterback. He has to be an athlete, playing quarterback, because he can't make a living from the. He's not accurate enough. So the Lamars and the Josh Allens, you've got to let them run, because they cannot make a permanent living from the pocket. They have to run. One-Eyed Jack says Trump did well the first 15 minutes, then tanked. Neither one truly answered a single question. That's, I don't know, bro. Although I do love how they asked her right away the question of the economy, and she went right over it. And then the other guy, hey, do you want Ukraine to win? No, I just want it to be over. So when he takes over, he just hands the Russians Ukraine and says, see, it's over. Yeah, politicians, baby. They don't answer anything. That's what you got to love. But when you start talking about pets getting eaten and all that, yeah, you're going to end up losing all the people in the middle. That was his problem yesterday. He catered only to his far right. And he had to be the guy that was against Biden, calm, cool, and collective, to try to win the people in the middle. She ended up winning the people in the middle. That's all right. I don't really care about either side. I think they're both clown shows. But those of you that are already set on either side, you probably thought your side won. I'll be the arbiter of that, since I don't give a crap about either party. She definitely won. She baited his ass. He's not very smart. That's the problem. So it's kind of easy to bait him, because he's not very smart. Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate you. That's when I saw Sting and Shaggy. Mr. Lover. I'll go. All right, let's go. Caneswear. That's the place. I love Caneswear and all the great people at Caneswear. Of course, Brett and Ken and Jeff and John. Just amazing people out there at Caneswear. They know how to get it done. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. They got anything and everything with the UM logo. They got Heat gear. They've got Marlins gear. They've got World Championship Panthers gear that you could get. Dolphins gear. Come on, man. We got Dolphins and Cane season right now. Inter Miami is going on Saturday. They're back in action against Philadelphia at Chase Stadium. You can get your messy kits there and everything. Check it out. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. It is Caneswear. And now our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. The Canes, baby, sitting at 2-0 and number 12, I believe, in the country. Is that correct, Manny? 12?
I think number 10 now.
Number 10. Okay, number 10. There we go. Number 10 in the country. Looking good. I mean, it was FAMU and all that good stuff, but they took care of business. I like what I saw. Now you get to, again, a winnable game, but Ball State at least will be competitive, and it'll be a team that will challenge you. They've got some experience on that team, so at least we should see more of a challenge this week for the Canes.
Yeah, certainly. If you think of what happened last weekend, right, with Notre Dame and Northern Illinois pulling off the upset, this is one of those games that, if you're Miami, you should be more focused, especially after just seeing what happened to the Irish losing at home. I do expect Miami to win and to win convincingly, but I hope it's not one of those performances that we're sitting here saying, man, why do these guys keep doing this? Why do they keep failing to show up and take care of business the way that they should? To me, if they go out and blow out NIU, then Mario Cristobal remains on schedule with really turning this program around.
Yeah, no, listen. Now let me defend Northern Illinois a little bit. They've kind of been on the rise for a while, right? They have actually been a decent program lately, right? If I remember.
Well, they've kind of been up and down. They did play in the Orange Bowl about a decade ago, if you remember. They came down here.
It's Kaepernick's team, right?
No. Kaepernick was at Nevada, if I'm not mistaken.
Nevada, that's what it was.
You're thinking of Nevada, but NIU has been, they did win the MAC conference, they've just kind of been up and down a little bit. Like they haven't been the best team in the last few years in the MAC, but that's still a heck of a win for them at Notre Dame. This opponent from Miami, Ball State, I don't think they've ever beaten a top 10 AP
No,
team.
but NIU is one of those that if you go screw around, they can surprise your ass. So I'm not I'm not shocked by them because it's like playing Troy or somebody like that. If you want to go underestimate, whatever, some of these Appalachian State or whatever, you go ahead and do that, bro. North Dakota State, or you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. Those are decent programs at least sometimes. So but again, it was a huge loss for Notre Dame. There's no way you lose that game. You're supposed to win that game. Again, challenge this week will be a little bit better. You expect them to win. But what I expect, and, I'm glad you brought this up, is professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys are getting paid, by the way. You need to perform every week. And I think that's where you nailed it. That's where you find progress. That if you take this game serious and you make it boring by kicking their ass, then you did your job. Because really what you want to get to is you want to get to your backups again in this game.
You do. And look, the bottom line is we've seen Miami too many times in the last 2 decades play a game like this and screw around, lose guys to injuries. They put themselves back in a way that they shouldn't. And I think that's the one thing Mario is trying to change, right? Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat and dominate them. And I think, the first half last week against Florida A&M wasn't to his liking. They didn't play a very clean game. They had a lot of penalties. They came out in the second half and they looked a lot better, I thought. But again, that's something that changes with culture, right? It changes with the players themselves. They don't allow themselves to fall into traps and show up every single week the way that they're supposed to. This is a game where, look, they're 36.5-point favorites over Ball State. This game should be over by halftime.
By the way, I took the over last week, and I like the over again this week.
Yeah, 54.5. I think Miami scoring 50 points against this Ball State defense is not out of the realm of possibility. This team gave up 34 points last week to Missouri State. So yes, I agree with you. I think 54.5 is a very doable number. This should be a 56-7, 60-3 type game in my mind.
Yeah, I think so, and I think this is the kind of game again where you get your backups in there, and then they're excited and they want to score, and you want to start getting those guys even sharper in these kind of games, so that way they're ready to step in for any injuries, and that's the beauty of these 3 weeks, dude. In these 3 weeks, you should have an opportunity to keep Cam Ward and everybody else kind of fresh, and you should be able to rotate that second half of your roster in there a lot over these 3 weeks.
For sure, and I think we saw that last week. We saw a lot of guys, freshmen and newcomers, get into the game against FAMU. You saw, they gave Jalen Rivers essentially the day off as he recovers from a minor deal. They were able to play Markel Bell, the 6'9" monster that they got out of JUCO, that they hope turns into sort of the left tackle of the future. He was able to get into that game and play quite a bit, and so. You're experimenting with some young guys. You're getting guys reps so that when you need them later in the year, again, to win a national championship, you need depth and you need to be able to play 16 games. It's going to be a long season if that's really what you think you can accomplish. And so you need to have, second teamers that get into the game. And let's face it, for the last 20 years, there haven't been many opportunities for the Hurricanes to get freshmen valuable playing time because they've had to struggle to just even be in the game against a lot of teams. So this is another one of those opportunities to play a bunch of young guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. And as long as you handle it the right way, then that will be, the progress. I would imagine Bain and others aren't going to play again this week, right? Why?
Yeah, there's really no reason to risk it. And I think if you saw the USF Alabama game last week, and USF is who Miami plays next week, that was a 14-13 game in the fourth quarter for Alabama. And I know the final score was lopsided 42-13, but we've talked about this before. That coach at USF, he's got one of the best G5 programs in the country. He's got legitimate talent there. The Tampa area always has players, and that quarterback, Byron Brown, is the real deal. So you give Ruben Bain and a bunch of these other guys another week off to rest their bodies, then you can get them back for that game in Tampa. And hopefully you continue to kick ass where they don't even have to play the whole game, and they're totally fresh for when Virginia Tech comes, and they've gotten a little bit of reps back into the mix.
How's Fletcher, man? Now that he's had a couple games and coming back from that foot injury, I know it's when it comes to injuries, it's kind of hard to but how's he feeling? And he looks good, man.
Yeah, I mean he's done his job to this point. 3 touchdowns, not as many touches maybe as some other guys. 12 attempts. Damian Martinez has 26. Jordan Lyle, the true freshman, has gotten 12 attempts, but he's getting into a flow. And I think the most encouraging thing is he's effective in the red zone. You need a big physical dude who is going to do that. And Damian Martinez is a big physical dude too, but he's your workhorse. He's going to be the guy that's running on first and second down. If you can bring Mark Fletcher in on third down, throw him a few passes out of the backfield, get him involved in the red zone, that keeps Damian Martinez fresh, that he doesn't have to take as many hits. So to me, I liked what I've seen so far from the depth of Miami's running game. I just wish they were a little.
And it's smart because they're bringing him along slowly. You cannot bring him back and make him a workhorse already. I mean, you just can't do that to the kid. So you're better off using Damian. That's why. And again, I'm sure you're pacing him to see, hey, how's the soreness and all that after the game, after the next game, and those kind of things. I'm sure his workload will pick up a little bit as the season goes on.
Yeah, and again, you're building depth. Jordan Lyle is a freshman that they're really, really excited about, dude. And to me, he's kind of the third guy when you look at, workhorse, being able to handle responsibility. And I think having that guy play early, like you said, allows Fletcher to ease his way back in, allows Damian Martinez to get a blow, and it also prepares you for, God forbid, an injury to either one of those first two guys.
Right. I'm with you there. All right. What are you working on the Athletics so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, I just came out with a state of Florida recruiting mailbag that I answered for fans who wanted to kind of get an idea of what's going on big picture wise between all the state schools. So I came out with that today. Tomorrow I'll have my oddly specific predictions column, which is pretty popular on the website now, one of the most read things that I do every single week. And then Friday, we're going to have our ACC Power Rankings. Grace Rayner and I will put that out. And I think it's an interesting read for Miami fans. You know, we down here live in our own little bubble. Oh, we don't really pay attention to what's going on in the league. You might look at the league standings every once in a while, but there's been some interesting developments. I think Syracuse is a team that, it's at the end of Miami's schedule. I don't know if you watched that game against Georgia Tech or happened to see the score, but
I saw the highlights is what
yes.
I went to the highlights.
Kyle McCord is a pretty good quarterback, and I know he got a lot of the blame for Ohio State's struggles, but he and Oronde Gadsden, the second, are forming a pretty nice little tandem there. And as I look ahead to this Cane schedule, I'm thinking, that might be one of their tougher tests at the end of the year. So
didn't Ohio State quarterback also struggle and then go to LSU and have some success or something?
What was that guy's name again? Joe Burrow? Yeah,
Burrow. Yeah, that's guy. Yeah. So it is possible.
It is possible to turn things around. Yeah,
a struggling transfer from a Power 5 stud school. Yeah, it's a possibility that that can happen. All right, good shit. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and of course visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. And of course, if you order online over $99, you will also get free shipping. So there you go at Caneswear.com. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care. See you,
sir. There you go, Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a 2024 Corolla LE, $19,975. Need credit? If you earn at least $500 a week, we want to say you're approved at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. Welcome back. We are here at Toyota of Hollywood like we are every second Wednesday of the month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, of course, thank you to our friends at EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. Call Eric, Dade, or Broward counties, folks, if you need custom home construction and major home remodeling. Call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. All right. Jarvis Landry, Big O, what's your take? We need a third wideout. Dude, check with my man Omar Kelly. He talks about stupid, silly shit like that about Jarvis Landry. That's not I don't do the clickbait stuff, dude. That's not what I do. I actually talk about things that are and Omar does a lot of great stuff. Okay, but he does come up with some off the wall left field bullshit that and that's one of them. So, and I know there's a lot of suckers out there that fall for crap. And so, Jay, you're one of the suckers that falls for crap. So just want you to know that. But love you, Jay. Thank you for chiming in. But I'm just brutally honest here. It's not the best thing sometimes, but I don't care. Let's see. Tyreek doesn't get it. Reckless driving. Yeah, no, it's just kind of the way it is, man. The cop is the obvious one you got to blame. But not enough people. Today the coach called it more trivial. When somebody actually had the balls to ask him, hey, have you talked to Tyreek about how he's handling everything? And then the coach was kind of looking at him fisheye, like he was like, oh my God, like, oh yeah, sure. We've talked about stuff in the past and all that. No, like what happened that day? Like, why are you doing 60? None of this would have happened if you're doing 60. That's all. But nobody talks about that. And so that when it comes to accountability in this world, and Tyreek is a perfect example. There is no accountability because he's rewarded constantly no matter what he does. And that's how he sees it. Doesn't matter what he does, he gets rewarded. And that's how he sees it. Eventually, the talent will run dry, and then the baggage will, outweigh the production, and then they will say, well, yeah, now we can't tolerate it anymore. But that's, see, it's trivial that he was doing 60. It really isn't, but it would be if it was Tua, if it was Teron Armstead, if it was Raheem Mostert, if it was somebody that never, ever gets in trouble and was in a rush to get to the game and, got stuff. Hey, bro, whatever, bro. It's Tua. That guy's never in trouble. He made a mistake. Oh, my God. He's a human. Oh, we found out Tua's a human being. He made a mistake. That's how. Then it's trivial. When it's that guy, it's not. But that's how this world is. It's and again, and in his world, he just gets rewarded for anything and everything he does as long as he catches footballs and scores touchdowns. And he can do whatever he wants and gets away with it. That's the way he gets to see it. And that's the way it is for him also, by the way. That's his reality. Moby's 59 today. Really? Moby's 59 already. Wow. Keola Milbourne. Aloha, Big O. Thank you. I know we have a lot of Hawaiian folks that watch the show. R.I.P. I put that out too with Frankie Beverly. He gave us iconic soul music that was positive in our lives. Amen to that, Troy. Frankie Beverly is a special talent. Bless him, man. Rest in peace. Yes, sir.
Tyreek did speak today.
Yes. And
Cameron Wolf, there's some other things with that. This one, Tyreek Hill says he could have and wishes he did handle things a little bit differently in interaction with police. He adds, it doesn't give them the right to beat the dog crap out of me.
Exactly. He's right. But he didn't say it. He didn't mention that he was driving 60 miles an hour there in front of the game.
I'm just going off none of these have.
That's how he could have. That's how he could have handled it better, because we could be talking about Tyreek hitting a pedestrian at a game. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Cops are going to be the cops. They're going to do this stupid shit all the time, bro. What they just did to Tyreek, it probably happened in another city. Yes, the day before, the day after, the next week. It's, but it's tough, man. We know that cops are way out of line, but we also got to do our part too. And that dude's got to do his part of not screwing up constantly. But hey, it is what it is. I thought that person was joking for mentioning Jarvis Landry. No, there are actually some serious people that and that's because you have a writer that throws something silly out there, like go sign what's the cornerback that's like 40 years old? He also said Brent Grimes. He also said to go sign Brent Grimes too at 40. Again, that's clickbait stuff. That's just to stir shit up, and then some fans aren't very bright and they kind of pick up on it, Oh, can we get Tua and Waddle to drag Tyreek into church or something? No, it's not a matter of getting religious or anything like that. It's a matter of just common sense. You don't drive 60 in a game or a concert. Do you? I don't. I drive 6 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, because there's usually a cop in the way, or there's cones and there's people crossing. And, that's kind of what we do. It's pretty simple, bro. The stuff that he gets involved with, most of us don't. And by the way, none of them can reach him. That I can tell you. He's unreachable. But if you keep paying him, then he feels like he can get away with it. And that's the beauty of being in his position. You feel like you're entitled because you are. Let's see. Chef Juice says 74 likes, 170 people in the room. Come on, hit that like button. Yeah, 108 now and 172. Let's go. We got anything new on the Tyreek thing?
Just I'm going through each individual. Marcel sent out Tyreek Hill was contacted by the legal team representing Officer Danny Torres earlier this week in an effort to apologize. The request was declined.
Yeah, why would you want an apology from the scumbag? If you're Tyreek, you don't want to talk to that guy. You want to take him to court and all that stuff. But the cop, bro, I just told you guys, they just acquitted the two guys that killed Breonna Taylor. You think roughing up a little NFL player is going to, come on, bro. The guy's a 27-year veteran, blue on blue crime. It ain't going to happen.
And he's on the board of directors for the Police Benevolent Association.
Yes.
And more going on. Tyreek said that he wants the officer gone.
He should be.
He got to go. Not only did he treat me bad, but he also treated my teammates disrespect, had crazy words toward them, and they didn't even do anything. He got to go, man. Just other things. Let's see here. I think pretty much he said he got choked, pinched, kicked, all that. I'm just glad I'm still here. And then looks like everything else is pretty much the same as far as everybody sending out on that comment there.
Yeah. Cops aren't going to do anything. They never do. They never do. So make sure when you're out there, follow the rules, dude. Follow the rules. It's the best way. Don't be dismissive and don't be disrespectful because you could end up with that cop. That's how when I get pulled over, as I've told you for the last couple of days, I always expect that cop. And I know for any former cops or current cops that are watching, I don't mean to be mean about that, but that's what I have to assume because that's what I see so much of. And so since I see it, I have to assume, okay, this asshole that's coming up to me is going to give me 87 tickets. Let me be as nice as possible and cordial. Let me make eye contact and let me not be dismissive. That's it. And then I hope for the best. Yes.
Tyreek Hill on how he's grown as a man since he's joined the Dolphins. The way I've matured, the way I've been handling myself and my kids, stepping up as a father, I'm slowing my life down. I'm not doing the crazy things that I used to do.
Like driving 60 in a game. No, of course not. No, he's not doing any crazy things. Yeah, that's not crazy. Not crazy at all.
And also off the subject, but Field Yates, successful surgery today.
Oh, good for him. Yeah, what was it, a shoulder or something?
Yeah, he blew out his shoulder during a
that thing on the beach. Yeah. So the police are not accountable. Please, could someone tell me where is the code violation book on what section the code is having a window up? Richard, my brother, just because you're stupid and don't have etiquette, I can't help you, my man. You know what I mean? When I get pulled over by a cop and there's a cop in front of me, my window's down. I'm always cordial. I'm handing my license and all that. Richard, my man, what he had to do that day, since he was doing 60 in front of the stadium, is the second he gets pulled over, he has his license and registration ready for the cop and say, apologies, officer. I know you're pulling me over because I'm speeding. Okay? There's no contrition with the guy whatsoever. So I'm not excusing anything with the officer. But if you act like that, there's a good chance if you end up with Torres is the guy's name. If you end up with a Torres-like officer, this is what's going to end up happening. But hey, Richard, bro, you stay ignorant, my man. You stay ignorant, my man. That's all. When cops are in front of you, just roll up the window and be dismissive. You go ahead and do that, my man. That works for you. Go ahead. That's really smart. It's really smart, dude. Forget about what you think the law is or isn't the law or whatever. It's common sense. It's common courtesy. It's decency. It's a great way for you to diffuse the situation. But of course, Richard, you don't care about diffusing. You just care about your rights and all that. And everybody's fighting for everything. And when both situations are volatile, this is what happens. But hey, Richard, bro, you stay ignorant, my man. You go ahead. Stay ignorant. Anyway, we're not talking about Mississippi burning, dumbass, and all that stuff and all that. We're talking about what happened there in that situation. When a cop pulls you over, dumbass, okay, Richard, dumbass, when a cop pulls you over and he's in front of you, keep your window down. Communicate. Use your personality. You're guilty. So be contrite. Hey, I know I ran the red light. I'm sorry. I was in a hurry. Here's my license and my registration, my insurance. I understand if you have to give me a ticket. I was in a hurry. My wife is in the hospital. I'm a Dolphins player. I'm rushing into the stadium because I want to have a great game today. I'm really sorry I was speeding. But hey, Richard, you stay ignorant, my brother. That's fine. So that's all. That's all. It's fine. It's I can't reach you, bro. You know, get rid of this loser. Anyway, I once you start like texting 400 times, I have no use for you anymore. You know what I'm saying? I spent my time with you already. I gave you some intelligent, advice. But hey, bro, you stay ignorant all you want. That way, the cops are ignorant and the people also are going to be ignorant. And it's going to be a great combination because I see it all the time on television everywhere. It's a great combination for everyone to be ignorant. It's great. It's fantastic. Anyway, I don't have to be an angel. I just have to be smarter than the dumbest driver. There you go. Tokyo Drift in games and concerts. Hill is almost the whole Finn's offense. A cop once told me to avoid a ticket, always have at least one car in front of you. Or a chance to avoid a ticket, be nice, be cordial. If you probably know why they pulled you over, there's a good chance. And in his case, he knew exactly why. That's it. That's all. Looks like Richard's going to have to donate $25 to Bitcoin. Yeah, nah. Richard's not the kind of guy you reach. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand where we're at in this world. You know what I'm saying? So slapping someone at a marina and having several baby mamas and driving recklessly is considered growing up, but that's, he's as full of shit as they come, Hey, he's a hell of a receiver. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Nothing more, nothing less. He's not reliable in anything else. So that's all it is. The last game plan tried to include the tight ends. Unfortunately, Smythe and some extent, Jonnu didn't perform well. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more of it this week. We need it. Tyreek may lose the sense of reality when he's in the cockpit of the Moderna and forgets he's not gaming. Oh, Medina. Big old verbal judo is non-existent. Yeah. It's just not worth it with some people. You see it and you try like explain, yo, dude, that's, we know the cops are terrible. It's going to happen all the freaking time. But if you don't do your part, all you're going to do is create, and you get what you got. Two volatile situations and an explosion. Sad, but it's true. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the great Alan Blanco. If your company needs custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. Anywhere in the country, by the way, your company, your school, a lot of schools, by the way. He does a lot of schools and uniforms, whatever it is that you may need. 3A Graphics does it for you. Tonight, 7 o'clock, Aces and the Fever. And the Aces are favored by 4. I'm going to watch that game. Kelsey Plum is my favorite player in the WNBA. And obviously, Caitlin Clark is rocking it with the Fever. They're home, so they should be 20,000 strong. That should be one hell of a game. Aces should win. They're favored by 4. I don't know if I'm going to bet this game. I'm thinking of laying the 4, but the problem is the Fever can keep this thing close. And I think they beat the Aces the last time they played them, if I'm correct. So going to be a hell of a game in the WNBA tonight, Aces and Fever. 7 o'clock tip-off. Saturday, 3:30, Ball State will visit Miami. The spread is Miami favored by 36.5. The over and under is 54. Last week, we won with the over. We gave you the over. What was it last week? 59.5. 59.5, and we won. This one is 54. I'm going over on this one again. I already bet it last night. So I already took the Dolphins minus 1.5, and the Dolphins are now minus 2.5. You saw that? It went from 1.5 to 2 to 2.5. So that's a whole point. I got a bargain at 1.5.
Yeah, I think the issue with Allen's hand is sending it up a little bit.
The what? Oh,
the
Allen.
Issue, if he can't run, I think it's going to change a little bit of the offense.
Right. That's a good call. And if he's running, holding the ball with his passing hand, ooh, hit that shit.
Javon Holland, baby. Javon Holland.
Hit it. Anyway, so I am going over on the 54. I don't know about laying the 36.5. I mean, it's a lot of points to lay. They should win it by more than 36.5. But I really love the over. I loved it last week, and this week I'm loving it again, dude. So I'm going over, yes.
I wanted to ask you, and I know, listen to what Manny said, where there was a lot of mistakes in the first half. Did you think he played Cam a little longer than he should have? against FAMU?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering because I thought that as I'm like, why is he still in here?
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like they kept some guys in there a lot. But I guess if he's thinking it's not a clean operation, he wanted to see a clean operation in the second half some, but it just felt like he was there way too long.
I hate to say this. He's in the Heisman talk. So, like, you let him get some numbers, and he came to you because he wanted to learn more offense and change plays and all that kind of stuff that he wasn't doing, and now he's doing that. And so you're giving him the platform to be a complete quarterback to showcase his skills in the NFL, and then at the same time, you're helping him with the Heisman stuff. So you're building up the player and helping him, because if your guy wins the Heisman, do you know how that's going to help recruiting? So, it runs a little deeper. I'm spitballing here, but I'm thinking like, hey, we agreed to bring this young man over. He was thinking the NFL. We can make you a better quarterback. You could do all these things, prove to the NFL that you can do all these kind of things, change plays, change the protections, all that kind of stuff that you're now doing that you couldn't do before. You didn't do before. They didn't give it to you. Now you're getting that opportunity, and then now you're also building your stats up for Heisman talk. And he is, when they talk about the best quarterbacks in college football, he's mentioned every single time now. Top 5. When they start talking about the Nebraska kid and they start talking about all the different players, he's mentioned every single time. So, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. So I think that there's a little bit of that, but they did keep it in there. By the way, to continue the 3A Graphics sports calendar, Saturday, 7:30, Inter Miami taking on Philadelphia. Inter Miami, by the way, money line minus 205. Philadelphia plus 425 on the money line. Now, Messi was not seen at practice, according to Michelle Kaufman this morning, the early portion of practice that they watched. Okay, that doesn't mean that he wasn't there, because apparently his bodyguard was there. So she saw the bodyguard. She figures Messi is somewhere if the bodyguard is there.
Where there's smoke, there's
Yes,
fire.
There's fire. And by the way, Thursday night, one more, Dolphins and Bills. No Raheem Mostert. He is out. Okay. HN is a game time decision, although he practiced today and wasn't really wearing any sleeves or pads or anything that was limiting any kind of injury that he might have. Dolphins, by the way, are now favored by 2.5 points. Started at 1.5 on Monday. Now it's up to 2.5 points, and the over and under is 49. Dolphins minus 135 on the money line, and the Bills are plus 114. So Vegas is looking for the Dolphins to win this one, as Josh Allen is practicing with a sleeve on his left non-throwing hand. All right, there you go. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Big O, as a black man myself, the cop was overly aggressive, but what if I wasn't Tyreek? The question, the answer is possibly guns pointed at you. Bro, if you're not Tyreek, we're all arrested. Who are you kidding, bro? If you're not Tyreek, the rest of us are arrested. Your buddy stops, and he's Jonnu Smith, and he gets out, and they tell him, man, he's arrested too, and they impound his car. And the cuffs that they put on Calais, they would have not taken them off, and everyone would have gotten arrested. They got away because they're Tyreek Hill, because it's Jonnu Smith, because it's Calais Campbell. That's why they got away, because if not, asshole cops will take your ass in. Asshole cops don't let you go. Asshole cops only let you go because they realized the situation. Come on, man. I've run into asshole cops. They don't give you breaks. That's why that question posed is ignorant as hell. What if I wasn't Tyreek? The rest of us would have been arrested, my man. Okay? And like some idiot yesterday on Twitter, I shut him down right away. Because, well, what if it was your mom or your daughter or your wife there? And I go, well, it's never going to happen. Because my wife or my daughter or myself aren't driving 60 miles an hour at a game or a concert. Do you know how many concerts I've been to? Do you know how many games I've been to? I've never driven 30 miles an hour in a game or a concert. You're coasting, dude. That's what you do. And by the way, that street there is 35 or 40 on normal days. Just normal days. And they have a bear trap there all the time. All the time. Right by the stadium under the bypass. The cops are there. Let me give you a tip there, Miami Gardens. Cops are there all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if they're parked there right now, sitting there with their motorcycles and their guns. I know because I've been driving in that area for 25 years. You can't do 60 on a normal day. You will get stopped and get a ticket. Guaranteed. I don't know how many times I've driven through that bypass and I see the cops just giving tickets. And I smile because I'm like, yeah, you guys didn't know about this. But this goes on all the time in Miami Gardens. Like all the time. That is one of the most famous cop traps that there is in Dade County. That one right there. But you only know that if you live in Miami Gardens. Yeah. So, whatever, man. They're not going to do, cops are going to get away with all this stuff every single time. I'm afraid Tyreek will screw up again. That's what that's the part that I was hoping for, that after, the stuff and he got the contract and all that, they gave him the captain to try to see if they can get him to be mature. And that's what we have to be afraid of. And now he has no limitations. That's why I wouldn't have signed him and let the contract run out this year, because this way you kind of hold him, like, hey, yeah, we'll talk about it, but hey, make sure you do your job and stay off trouble and all that. But you gave him the money now. That's it. And he can do whatever he wants, and you have to just deal with it now. They can't control it, dude. So it is what it is. I noticed that even at the end of the Hurricanes and FAMU game, Mario still avoided taking a knee. Even in those last few seconds, some things never change. I can't believe he didn't say right away, I'm a Miami Dolphin. This is game day. Drew, you don't have to even do it that way. If Tyreek does this, as I've said already a couple times, you were speeding. Okay? So be a man. Oh, shit. I'm speeding. Damn. All right, give me my license. Okay. Window down. The guy, officer, good morning. I'm really sorry. I know I was speeding. I'm excited for the game. I'm a Dolphins player, and I just really wanted to have a great game, and I'm really, really sorry. Here you go. I totally understand if you have to give me a ticket. And you just keep the window down, and you just keep eye contact, and you show contrition right there. That moment, everything is diffused. The guy can't come at you because he's already pissed. Like, the balls of this person to drive 60 miles an hour with pedestrians and everything here at the stadium. So he's already like, wow. It doesn't matter the officer. They're all going to go, can you believe this guy? They're all going to say it because that's just common sense. That's human nature. So you've already lit the fuse. We lit the fuse. We sped. In a place that you're not, concert, school zone, game. Bro, there's people all over that. You do not do that. So you lit up the cop at that moment. The second he walks up to the window and you close the window on him and you just, whatever, and you're just chapping. That's not the way it goes. It just doesn't go that way. And if that moment you are mature, which he's not, you're smart, which he's not, you have tact, which he has none, you diffuse it. You get your ticket and you go right into the game. Nothing ever happens. But you handle it the other way and you end up with an asshole cop. There you go. I don't know why that's not really that hard to understand. I think it's normal for us normal people, because most of us actually act that way. You know what I mean? What are you going to take the stop sign and then tell them, no, I didn't? No, I don't. No, I didn't have any alcohol. Really? No, I wasn't speeding. Really? Go ahead. See how that works out for you. These people do this every day, every moment. They do it all day long. They deal with liars all day long. They see right through your lies and your bullshit. Right. And they're tired of lies and bullshit. That's the people that are stopping you. They're tired of dealing with idiots. They're tired of dealing with liars. They're tired of dealing with bad people. And so if you're a good person and you're having a bad day, you need to compartmentalize that moment and turn it off and be cordial. Because all those people that are working that job, they're all wound tight, because most of us would never want to be that person and do that job. Like I said, you got two volatile situations. If that's the way you want to work it, you go ahead. But my philosophy is I'm not going to be volatile. And then whatever happens, happens after that. But if I'm going to be volatile, and there's a good chance that the guy on the other side or woman on the other side is going to be volatile every time, it's just a chemical imbalance that just will create havoc. But hey, man, you guys carry however, like that other idiot. You go ahead and carry yourself however you want to carry yourself. He put it down, cut it, and then closed it. And you got the guy in front of you. Again, bro, Jermaine, you didn't listen to me, dude. You didn't listen to me. You didn't listen. Here's the license, just dismissive. You didn't listen. You didn't pay attention. There's a problem in this world with that. You just did not pay attention to what I just said. Anyway, bro, I agree to being cordial with them, but Hill probably had that pregame adrenaline. There's no excuse. No excuse, bro. That's a stupid excuse. Okay? You're in the locker room. You're on the field, you're parking, whatever. Compartmentalize, dude. Then when you get on the field, you turn it on. You don't turn it on the street, on people. That's a lazy ass excuse. That's all it is. The cop wasn't being an ass, Jermaine. The cop was being a criminal. Get it straight, dude. You don't even know anything. You don't even know how Tyreek's supposed to act, and you don't even know the kind of criminal that guy is. That guy didn't act like an ass. That cop is a criminal, dude. You think that's the only time he did that to somebody? Come on, man. He did that and he's gotten away with that. That's why he does that. That's why that guy does that, because he's gotten away with that a whole bunch of times. Why do you think Tyreek does what he does all the time? Because he constantly gets away with it. Goes both ways, dude. Only problem is, Jermaine, you don't have the balls to be a man and call it like it is for both sides. That's all it is, dude. You're gutless. You're a little fanboy. You're a sports hole. Anyway, Big O, on a stronger note, when will you be at the Big Cheese? October 8th. October 8th. Tuesday, October 8th, I believe, is a Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday, October 8th. Drew says, I hear you and I agree with you. Yeah, this whole you could be the nastiest mofo in the world, but you do that on the field. Off the field, at every moment, you got to act like a professional. Got to act like a human being, dude. I would hope that ego would lessen with age and experience, but like you said, some never grow up. And did X ever grow up? Never. Kept doing stupid shit. Every single time. All the time. And he's still having off the field issues. Well, he's not even on. Nobody even wants him on the field. Yeah. C. Dola, that's that I don't take any credit for Sports Hole. Zero. That is all Neil Rogers. Rest in peace, sir. That's what he used to call people like Jermaine, sports holes. That, they're just jock sniffers. And they don't really call things. He called the cop, he was acting like an ass or something, or like, no, dude, the cop is a piece of shit and a criminal, bro. He's a scumbag. call it for what it is. When they do it like that, it's because they've been doing it their entire career, bro. Wake the hell up. And the other guy, Tyreek, is a con artist. But he uses athleticism to then be able to get away with everything else. You're getting conned either way, bro. You're just not very smart and you don't see it, Jermaine. That's all. Anyway. Big O, you should run for mayor. No, that would kill me. I don't like Democrats. I don't like Republicans. It would be hard for me I got to deal with one group that just lies and does a whole bunch of crap, and then the other group wants to tax the crap out of you. Now, I'm not a fan of either side. I keep trying to tell you guys this. Nobody ever gets it, do they? They never really get it. They keep spinning things like they think I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or something. I never understand that. Like,
it's what you always say. They listen to what they want to listen to.
Yeah.
However they wanted to hear it, that's how they're going to hear it.
Like, I can't stand, like, some guy, like, because I said Harris won. Oh, well, no, because you're bro, go watch my timeline. I've ripped Biden for the last 4 years. I'm a crypto guy. I hate Democrats. I'm a crypto guy. I'm a strong crypto guy. I'm a strong believer in Bitcoin. You know? And I know Trump doesn't know shit about it, but there are some Republicans that do. So I appreciate that part. But, like, it's like you hear what you want to hear. And it's like, I truly am objective. I don't care about either side. And I will tell you exactly what either side and what's wrong with them and what I don't like about them. But I'm also going to tell you, like yesterday, your orangutan got trounced. But it is what it is. But again, if you're on one side, you can't be objective because you only see that. You only in your echo chamber. So, yeah, I couldn't be a mayor or president because I can't deal with each of these sides, and all they do is do things to screw you and me. But they do it in their way. It's nuts, man. It's terrible. Another athlete who thinks he's entitled. What a jagoff. Let's see. Your ego is always your most deadliest adversary. You can only hope to control it enough. Very good. Very good. If Achan is unable to go to tomorrow, who has the bigger role, Jalen Wright or Jonnu Smith? Ooh, so he sounds like a fantasy or a gambler right now. I'm going to go Jonnu because I'm still going to I'm going to look at last week as an aberration. By the way, what's the prop numbers for Jonnu? Because I lost last week. I lost 2 bets with Jonnu, anytime touchdown and 24.5 yards. And I'm going to bet again this week for Jonnu. I don't know what it is in yards, but I'm going to bet the over on yards. And definitely tell me what's the rushing yards for Tua. Because I won last week 2.5 yards, and I knew he was going to run. So if you want to do that 2.5, 3.5 yard thing, I'll do it again because I think he'll get me 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards easy on a run. What? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's slow in here. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. Let's see what else. Bro, run as an independent. No, Drew, I can't work with these people. I can't, dude. All they want to do is screw you people over. All they want to do is print money. Our last 2 presidents have printed 16 trillion. 16 trillion, dude. Like when you hear the Trumpies, oh, things were so good. Of course, you moron, because you were picking up from things were going great from Obama, and then you printed 8 trillion. So you flooded the streets with 8 trillion for 4 years. So of course it seemed better, but then that 8 trillion goes on your deficit, and guess who's paying for it? Your kids for the rest of their lives. But they're not smart enough. They don't pick up on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And then these guys, they print another 8 trillion. The last 2 presidents have just annihilated our dollar. But the Dems and the Republicans don't see it that way. They don't, oh, the jobs created this. No, dude, you spent a whole ton of money on that infrastructure bill that, yes, some of it is positive, but a ton of it isn't. And then everybody else has got to pay for it. It goes both ways. They both do the same thing. One will take down statues. The other one will erase history books. It's all the same shit. You shouldn't erase the history books, and you shouldn't take down the statues. You should teach the history. Because unfortunately, back then, everybody was racist. It's the weirdest thing. If you start to think about it, back then, 100, 200, 500, 700, they were all racist. What are you going to do, man? But teach, educate. That's how you don't repeat it. But look what both sides do. One wants to take the statues down. The other one wants to erase the history or alter it, which that's not educational. That's not how you learn. They all do the same shit, dude. They just do it different ways. That's all. Dems want a CBDC to control your money. Republicans want to eventually put a no abortion bill to control your body. They all do it in their own different ways. It's just the problem is that when you're stuck in one side, you don't see it. And you just think everything you're doing is fine. And then when you're stuck on the other side, you see it and you think everything you're doing is fine. And what you're both doing is hurting each other. So I would never want to be anything involved in there at all. It's too dirty. And all they're doing is making money for themselves. That's all they're doing. It's AOC walking around in $5,000 dresses on a daily basis. And she wonder how she can afford that. Whatever, bro. Let's see. Big O, is it true that in Springfield, yep, all the dogs and cats, they're running, bro. They're running. Keep speaking the truth, Big O. Yes, Kamala set traps for Trump and he fell for it. Hill could have handled the situation differently. Thank you for being objective and giving your honesty. It's just the way it is. But you're not going to enjoy it because you're stuck on one side. And, Electric Sloth says, been listening for a while, but I'm unsubscribing because I'm sick of Big O getting up on his feelings about politics. Bootlicker, peace out. Oh, pobrecito. I'm sorry. Oh, Jim too? Sorry, Jim. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, my brother. So, back to music. I just found out that Stevie Wonder played every instrument on Superstition. Imagine how this jam can get everyone moving. Prince, Stevie Wonder. Who are some of the other guys? Bruce Springsteen can do it, but he doesn't do it. Let me see who else. There's a couple of those kind of cats. Oh, I remember what's it called? Missing Persons. Terry Bozzio. Terry Bozzio, the drummer, he wrote all the music. Actually, Dale had poems, but Terry wrote the guitar and the drums and everything for that first album. When they brought Cucurello on, they basically told him, "Hey, add a couple of solos and stuff." On that first album, most everything was written by Bozzio. So yeah, sometimes you have some of those freak talents and they can play every instrument. And obviously, Stevie has an ear like no other. And, as everybody talks about that, the people that lose, one thing or another, they end up building strength in something else. And clearly, man, Stevie is just ridiculous. That's a talent. That's a talent at another level, basically. So, anyway, don't know about all of you, but I hate Thursday games. I know, Ricky, until they add the second bye week, they won't get better. They need to get to 18 games and 2 bye weeks, and then you'll have a bye week for your Thursday games, and then you'll have a bye week if you go to Europe, something like that. And that's what I think I was hearing somebody on radio driving here. It was, I think it was on Patrick, and it was one of the what's it called? The two guys in the morning, Mike and Mike, not Greenberg, but the other guy, Golick. And it was Golick that was on with Dan Patrick, I think. And he said he doesn't think that they're ever going to be a European teams or division in Europe or anything, but that they'll go to Europe. And so eventually, if you're really going to do that, you got to get to 18 games and you got to get to 2 bye weeks. You got to give these men a break, dude. And you're right. The Thursday games are terrible games normally. And it puts your players at major risks. There's no doubt about that. So, do I like the Green Party? No, I don't like any. I don't like any party, dude. I don't like any of the parties. I don't think any of them really look out for you. You know your politics, though. That's why I'm saying that. Well, thank you, the Drew. I appreciate that. We try to follow it and be fair and see how both of them are screwing us. Who cares if the Miami Dolphins player, he still has to follow the law. He's not special. Exactly. We all have to. Or if not, and we end up with one of those jerks, we're screwed. Phil Collins had a few albums where he played all instruments. Really, Gordon? I did not know that. Thank you. Did not know that. Wow. Okay. Dave Grohl played. Oh, by the way, you are correct that Dave Grohl does play all instruments, but I don't know if. That's right. You are. I remember reading that the first Foo Fighters album, he played all instruments. You are correct. You are correct about that. You are correct. But I do know he plays all instruments. He's a freak. He's a total freak. Willie Chirino, really? I had no idea. Wow. Tom Schultz. Well, Tom Schultz not only played all instruments and produced all albums in his house, he built his own studio. Tom Schultz built his own guitar. He's an MIT grad. He built his own guitar. That's why his guitar would sound, he had a different sound than everybody else. And that's because the pickup, whatever they're called, I don't know, guitarists out there, help me out. Pickup things or whatever they're called, he designed them differently than everybody else. So yeah, and that's why he had that sound from his guitar. So yeah, Schultz. The only thing that Tom Schultz would always piss me off about since I was a child, because I fell in love with Boston from the first album when I was a kid. I was 10 or 11 when that first album came out, and I was like, forget it. I got to get the 8-track and all that stuff and played it religiously. It's that he took so long for every album. And that's just the only thing that I was pissed. Like, dude, what if you were like everybody else and you like took out an album every other year or every year, and we would have had many more Boston albums in their heyday? Would have been awesome. Don't Look Back came out like 4 or 5 years later, and it was just like, and then Third Stage was like, I don't know, 10 years later or something stupid. It was ridiculous. That's the only thing. Tom would frustrate me with that. Cool the Engines is still one of my favorite songs. Big O, I really appreciate your honesty. Thank you, sir. But I know it's not something that is popular. I heard Bruno Mars can play all instruments. I don't know if he records that way. That's different. But he can play all instruments. Go back to the Super Bowl when he performed, and you see him on drums and stuff. Yeah, he can play guitar and all that. Yeah. Bruno Mars is supremely gifted. Yes. Super talent. Johnny Cash had such a great voice. He didn't need a vocal range. A wonderful storyteller. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, Johnny Cash is Johnny Cash, dude. It's when you're those kind of artists that you're singular, like nobody can match you. You like the second you hear it, it's identifiable. It is, nobody comes even close because that's your sound. That's who you are. And Johnny Cash is as original as it gets, and there won't be another. That's the beauty of some of these artists. The truly great ones, the ones that make an amazing impact and then have a lasting impact, it's their originality, man. The Doors, Their music will last forever, and their sound is unequaled. Pink Floyd, it just goes on and on and on. And it's just certain artists, the aforementioned Stevie Wonder. I mean, how are you going to equal that? How are you going to match that? How are you going to sound like that? Who's going to be that? No one. You have to be a super talent to be Stevie Wonder, So it's a cool thing when you're a Johnny Cash type. Big O, since Mostert is out, I think Larry Zonka and Ronnie Brown are ready to go. Well, let's hope so, Anthony. Does anybody know about Odell Beckham? No, he's out for 4 games. So he's not going to play until the 5th game, my friend. So he's definitely out for 4 games. Why? I don't know. As much as I can stand AOC, she looked perfect in that dress. Well, if you're wearing $10,000 dresses, So, yeah, you're going to look good. Of course she looks good. She's a good-looking woman. She's making money, bro. Let's see. Grohl is definitely a music freak. Yeah, you should watch. You want to see what kind of a music freak he is? Oh, God, it is called. It's a documentary, and Sunset something or it's about a studio in Sunset in Sunset Boulevard there in LA that closed down, and artist after artist, legendary artist after legendary artist recorded, like Rumors was recorded there, like all kinds of biggest albums of all time. Nirvana's Nevermind, it's just ridiculous the amount of artists that recorded there. Sound City Studios, I think it's called, or something. No, not Sunset Strip. It's Sound City Studio or something like that. Just put Sound City. That's it then. Then that's it. Sound City. Yeah. Yes. Hotel California, all that. Yes. Sound City. And go check it out. Yeah, Dave Grohl directed. Yeah, it's because he's such a music freak. He knows the history at Sound City, all the artists that recorded there, all the legendary albums that were recorded there because the sound, and everybody would have a hit album after hit album. And so other artists would say, no, I want to record there because they're recording legendary albums and I want to do it. And there's just one after another, after another, after another. So he ended up taking the soundboard from that studio, and that's the soundboard he currently has at his house now. He took the soundboard from Sound Studio out and put it in the studio in his home. It's a great documentary. It's phenomenal, dude. If you're a music fanatic like I am, you're going to love that documentary. Absolutely awesome. Let's see what else. Imagine being a great talent like Brad Delp or Janis Joplin, and you still think you're not good enough for the world. I know. Depression, man. It's real. Just because a lot of us don't deal with it, it's real. There are people, and you wonder, like, well, wait a minute, dude. You're Janis Joplin, and she had, problems with her looks because she didn't feel pretty and things like that, right? And so people may have wanted her for her voice, but they didn't desire her, and she wanted to be desired. So that was a problem. You know what I'm saying? And obviously put her into, depression. Brad Delp, who had a magical voice for Boston. I mean, Jesus Christ, one of the greatest rock singers of all time. And there's a man that also dealt with all kinds of demons. And we can't control that kind of stuff. We can only try to understand and reach and support. But what we can't do is make fun of it, downplay it, think that it doesn't exist, toughen up, whatever, all that. That just doesn't work. Because it may work for you and me that, hey, we fall down, we get back up again, we figure out a way. We don't, a lot of us can overcome those kind of things. But then for some people, there are some things in life that they struggle with overcoming, and whatever it is in their minds, and then we don't pay attention to it, we don't support it, we don't help, and then we lose them, and we lose them to whatever demons that they end up gravitating to, which absolutely sucks. That becomes even more depressing on top of their depression. It's effed up, dude. And back in those days, oh my God, anybody know about depression then? No. It was probably, hey, come on, let's go. It's not that tough. Come on, let's go. You and deep down inside, they're just dying. I don't know what that feels like. Most of us don't. And the few that do and were able to get out of it, oh my God, if you're able to understand it, God bless you. You know what I mean? But the rest of us, we've got to find a way to be more understanding of that. Because I'm sure all of us now are dealing with it with someone in our families or friends or something like that. Because now we're aware of it. It's tough, man. Let's see, what else do we have on the chat board? Imagine breaking news, Big O. Zonka and Ronnie Brown have been cleared. Okay. All right. They're drinking some energy drinks. They're getting ready. Okay. I like it. Hopefully they'll get it done. Let's get to some music history and music stuff to talk about. By the way, Rise Taylor, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, no excuses tomorrow night. We are better. We are the better team. We should win. Players shouldn't be focused on the past, only tomorrow. If both teams play to their capability in all three phases of the game, we will win. Simple. Great show. Thank you, Rise Taylor. Very nice of you, sir. I appreciate you. And Abel Rodriguez, thank you for the love on Cash App. I appreciate you, sir. He says, I want to drive fast. So I guess it's a Tyreek donation. I want to drive fast. All right, so let's get to some music news and stuff. First of all, Frankie Beverly, who passed away. We want to say, of course, rest in peace. Passed away at the age of 77. The legendary vocalist and band leader of Maze passed away at the age of 77. His family confirmed his death in a heartfelt statement posted on social media. Grieving the loss of a loved one is deeply personal and emotional experience during this time as we're navigating feelings of sorrow, reflection, and remembrance. We kindly ask for privacy and understanding, allowing us the space to grieve in our own way. This period for us is one of healing, and your respect for our need to for solitude and appreciation is appreciated as we honor the memory of our beloved Howard Stanley Beverly, known to the world as Frankie Beverly. He lived his life with pure soul, as one would say, and for us, no one did it better. He lived for his music, family, and friends. Loved ones love one another as he would want that for all of us. So rest in peace, Frankie Beverly. 77. All right, let's go with musicians today celebrating birthdays. Johnny Buckland, guitarist for Coldplay, born in this date in 77. Ludacris, Chris Bridges, born in this date in 1977. Richard Ashcroft from the Verve, born in 1971. Harry Connick Jr., born in 1967. Moby, Richard Hall, producer, vocalist, born in 1965 on this date. Mick Talbot, keyboardist for Style Council, born in 1958. John Moss, drummer for Culture Club, born in 1957. Tommy Shaw, singer, songwriter, guitarist for Styx, born in 1953. Let's see. Dennis Tufano, lead singer for the Buckinghams, born in 1946. Mickey Hart, percussionist, musicologist, best known for one of the two drummers for the rock band, The Grateful Dead, born in this state in 1943. Those are musicians born on this date. Let's go with birthdays of famous people outside of the musicians. To Jari P. Henson, she is 54 years old. Tyler Hoechlin, actor, 37. Moran Rochwan, soccer coach, 43. Let's see. Paul Heyman, wrestling announcer, 59. Would you have had that? Oh, you had it. Okay. Oh, it says 59, so they might have screwed up. Yeah, 59 sounds kind of young. $69. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, because I know who he is, and I know he's been around, and I'm in my late 50s. He's older than I am, so yeah. So sorry I took that one away from you. Usually it's wrestlers, not wrestling announcers, so I wasn't sure if that would be included, so I threw it out there. Who else? That's wait a minute. I got one more block of folks. Franz Beckenbauer was born in this state in 45. We lost him in 2024. Elizabeth Daly, E.G. Daly. If you want my love, say it, say it. She is 63. She's also a voice actor, too. She's Tommy, the voice of Tommy Pickles on Rugrats, also, for those of you that may not know that. And Paul Bear Bryant was born on this date in 1913. We lost him in 1983. Those are your famous people born on this date. All right, my man. What do you got for me in wrestlers?
Well, I got Sojo Bolt. She was born in 1977, and you took the other one.
Oh, okay.
That's all we got. That's it.
Sojo Bolt. It's a hell of a name.
It's Sojourner Bolt, but she went by Sojo Bolt, so it was easier. People probably wouldn't know her if I did the whole name.
By the way, tomorrow, okay, we are doing a very short show because tomorrow night we've got the game. So we will be on at 6:15 for the pregame, and then we'll get you ready also for the the postgame show and all that good stuff. Chris Perkins and David Furonis will join us postgame. But tomorrow, because I know at 10 a.m. you're going to go, oh, where is he? We're going to do a really short show, okay? I'll do a short one because it'll give me time to rest and then, do the other 4 hours that I have to do. Again, I got to pace myself because then Thursday night, we're back on Friday morning, so I have to make a quick turnaround. So gotta pace myself there, folks, okay? But I appreciate all of you out there as always. What were you going to say as you grabbed the mic?
No, I'm saying then a quick turnaround for Friday morning because we're at Acura.
Right. Oh, that's right. And we're on the road. That's right. We're at Acura. So, you know what I'm saying? So make sure, you have a little patience for us. Do want to remind you that Welt and Rheaume is a proud sponsor of our program. And we love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, 954-966-4646. A lot of people are dealing with bankruptcy issues, man. It's been going on. Some of our listeners have called, and I know that it's tough. They're taking care of some of our listeners. Some of our listeners have called about car accidents, about water damage, those kind of things. But I know bankruptcy is, happening out there. People are going into their 401ks. They're having issues, or they've gone into their savings like never before. It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. And so if you really need some help, please call Welt and Rheaume. They can help you out. 954-966-4646. Condo damage, criminal defense, you name it. And let me tell you, again, we got storms here all the time. And if you have a torrential downpour and all of a sudden you've got some water damage or a busted pipe, don't ever call the insurance company. I know habitually that's what we're all trained to do that. No, you call Welton Rayom first. They have their own adjusters. Then they send their adjusters. They get it all figured out, and then they call the insurance company in your behalf. That way you don't have to deal with the headaches, because the insurance company is going to send their adjusters, and their adjusters work for the insurance company, not for you. 954-966-4646. So many of our listeners have benefited from Welton Rayom. I've benefited from Welton Rayom, so you can too. Make sure you call them. They're in Hollywood. They can take care of you anywhere. 954-966-4646. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O, the thing that worries me about the future of music is AI pushing out the human element. Well, it's up to you, my brother, because the artist has to go live, right? So you'll be able to know if it's AI or live. So follow people that are real, and that's it. You'll get to see them live. That's kind of the way it is. If you're not going to be live, then I probably will not be watching you or following you or those kind of things. For the record, Jim Morrison was conceived in Pensacola. Yeah, I know, he's a Florida kid. And as was Roy Jones Jr., Emmett Smith, and Don Sutton. And yes, Dougie Fresh. It's Tua's birthday today, is it? It's Tua's birthday? Why
I
is
put
Frankie...
up the graphic. It's got Tua, it's got Roman Reigns, it's got Kendrick Lamar, it's got Bono,
it's just a billboard.
Yes.
Just a billboard.
Yes. And this guy's like, it's Tua's birthday.
He
wanted to throw hate on him, I'm sure.
I just noticed it. You put like some of my favorite people. That's what you did. You put my favorite people on there.
And then I threw the Roman Reigns, acknowledge him.
Pull up the billboard again. Let me see. Hold on. Now I know what he did. That's nice of you. Can I tell him, hey, create a billboard for the birthdays and the entertainers and all that, And so Halle Berry, okay, Bono, Tua, Kendrick Lamar, and then you put your wrestler. Okay, yeah, because we put wrestling birthdays. All right, and there's music history, and then there's regular entertainers' birthdays, and then this one, okay, this one has Bono, it has U2. You put Jelly Roll. Oh, that's Luke Holmes? Oh, okay, yeah. There's no tattoos. I should know that. Okay. All right. I love it. Snoop Dogg and Dre. Right, yeah. All right. Is that Louis Armstrong at the top? Is that supposed to be Louis Armstrong?
It's an SVG, so
but it's supposed to be a Louis Armstrong.
I'm guessing maybe. I just looked up like jazz and everything. So
okay,
because I was trying to find PNGs because I can't put backgrounds because then I got to change the color of everything. So
yeah.
And now I can't find the billboard.
Okay. So and you got Halle Berry in there.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, once you get Halle Berry involved, is there a need for anything else after that? No, not really. Not really. The Lord said, I'm gonna really mess with people right now. Here's perfection. That's it. Boom. Halle Berry. It's over. That woman is stunning, 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 and stunning again. Funny how we don't have any hot 1 p.m. divisional games at our stadium, but we got cold ones. Just got to win them, Perfect Q. Just got to win them. Last 20 years, we've had plenty of hot days, and we didn't take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? So we can't pick and choose. Again, I'm going to play it objective. I'm going to play both sides. And I'm not going to play that game because our teams and coaches for the last 25 years have had plenty of day games, plenty of opportunities to make impactful games and seasons, and they have failed every way possible. So just win, baby. As the late, great Al Davis used to say, just win. I don't care where it is. I don't care who it is. Start winning way more games than you're losing and start winning games in the playoffs. Hot ones, cold ones, indoor ones, outdoor ones, I don't care. I don't want to hear any excuses. If you're healthy enough, win the damn game. Guess what they are on Thursday? they're healthy enough. Win the damn game. That's all I got to say. That's it. Big O, I am the left arm of Colombia. So Willie is the left arm of Colombia. Strong. Flintstones, Halle Berry was insane. Tua getting a belated birthday win on. So tomorrow is Tua's birthday. I have no idea. I'm just going along with the joke now. I just might as well. You know what I'm saying? Might as well go on with the joke. It's Miles. That makes sense, actually. You know what? Now that you say it, there isn't a bloated face. So yeah, it has to be
Thank
Miles.
you, man. I have no. I really, honestly.
That makes sense. Just like the Jelly Roll and what was it, Luca?
Luke Combs.
Yeah, because he kind of looks like Jelly Roll in that picture. But the problem is, I had to look closer in that face because it has no tattoos. And the Jelly Roll guy is like a billboard of a bunch of crap. Boy, he's going to look fantastic when he gets older. You know that? He's going to look fantastic. Why? What are you laughing about? What'd they send you? What'd they send you?
I went on X to find out why Shannon Sharp was trending.
Oh, okay. What was he trending? What did he do?
Apparently, he went live on IG when he
shouldn't have. How do you do that?
No, I don't think he know. I don't know what, but
was he doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing?
He was doing someone.
Wow. Okay.
It sounds like.
Okay. Well, Club Shay Shay got sexy.
Apparently, so.
Okay. That's fine. By the way, Frankie, thank you. Frankie Fresco. No. Screaming A. Screaming A. He sent me a video, and I normally don't watch anything from Screaming A. Huh? Or it was Gus. I'm sorry. Gus 1388. I'm sorry. Not you, Frankie.
Don't be giving Frankie any accolades on this show. What is we doing?
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah. Come on. How the Gators? Anyway, so listen.
You know it.
Gus, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. He sent me a video of Screaming A, and Screaming A said exactly what I said about Tyreek. And I was like, wow. Some people in the media actually have some balls to call it like you see it. Yeah, of course the cop is a criminal and a jerk. We all know that. That's for sure. There's plenty of those. But he took the time to also point out how Tyreek did not carry himself at all. And in fact, it was him and was it Shay Shay with them, or was it somebody else? With Shannon Sharp. And he goes, by the way, when I get pulled over, and Sharp agreed to him, he goes, I lower all my windows. Yeah, I remember some of, there was you're a bootlicker. No, dude, it's not that you're a bootlicker. It's that Stephen A. and me, we're being smart. We're going to diffuse the situation as much as possible. And so I give him, and I don't like giving that guy any credit because he's normally talking all kinds of stupid shit. But this was about life, and he got it right. Because the lazy take is cops. Bro, we know that. Of course the cop is a criminal. Not a bad guy. He wasn't off. He wasn't too aggressive. But he's a freaking criminal. And when you do that, it's because you've gotten away with it over and over and over again, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, he said on I'm paraphrasing, but he said, we have this platform and it's our duty to keep the public health safe or something. I forgot exactly how he said it, but
Screaming A said that.
Yeah, beforehand. He was like, this is our platform. We have to do
right. And he talked about how you're supposed to act when you get pulled over. Not like that. I know you sports holes. You can't really comprehend that. But I gotta, I'm gonna give Screaming A some love on that one, bro. That was very few people in the media have the balls to say that because The easy one is to go after the cops because that's so obvious. It's obvious. But it takes balls that in the midst of all that dirtiness, hey, let's also point out this too, because it sounds like it's almost blasphemous, like you're blaming him. No, but you have to give some blame over there. You have to, whether you like it or not, some blame has to go there because he contributed to it. And so screaming, hey, thank you, Gus, because I would have never seen it. I would have never seen it. And the only reason I watched it, it's because he goes, I don't know how he phrased it. He goes, hey, Screaming A says the same thing you say. And I'm like, huh? And so then when I played it, I was like, wow. Props. Mad props. Let's see. Big O, are you going to watch MTV Awards? I haven't watched the MTV Awards. I don't know, since Madonna was pumping the floor. Like, it's been a long time. I don't watch that. I don't watch the ESPYs. I don't watch the MTV music. I don't watch the Oscars. I don't watch the Emmys. I don't watch the Tonys. I don't watch any award shows. None. Yeah, no, I don't watch any of them. Yeah, I have no interest in any of that stuff. Let's see. The Last Boy Scout, Halle Berry. Good for you, Tony. Look at you. Dolphins have to learn how to win in cold weather. This is the NFL. Have to win in December. Damn right. Run the ball, says man of 1,005 holds. Frankie Fresco is shaking his head. No, his B-Day is March 2nd, the Drew is confirming for us. Big O is not going to stop Frankie. We love Frankie, bro. Frankie's fantastic. We just, but Frankie gets the show. Even when he's material and he's getting picked on, he gets it. That's the beauty of Frankie. That's what makes him a stud. Because he can get ragdolled and still laugh about it. And then come back the next day and then come back at you also at the same time, which is beautiful. Yes.
You can't spell stud without the U, by the way.
That's right. You can't. Screaming A and Big O just agreed on something. Hell just froze over. Yeah, that won't happen, James. That won't happen, my friend. As talented as Tyreek is, he's fortunate to have 2 accurate QBs in a row to maximize his potential. Yep. And notice how one of them got rid of him and continued winning championships. Okay? That's you didn't win the championship because of him. He contributed to your championship. And then you got rid of him and you continue now to win championships without him. And he's not winning it. You're not pulling a Deion Sanders that, you win it with San Francisco. Oh, no problem. I'm going to go to Dallas and now we're going to win it. You're not pulling a Tom Brady like, no, I'm going to go to Tampa to go win it. No. You're not doing that. Big O, a little music trivia. All right, Oscar Rojas ready to stump me again. Here we go. At the first MTV Music Video Awards show, what video beat out Thriller? What video could have beaten out Thriller that year? Holy shit. Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen. Or Prince? No, not even close? What's the answer?
See, I remember this because I'm such a music fanatic.
Connoisseur?
It was the Cars, You Might Think.
No way. I would have never thought that You Might Think.
Mm-hmm. And notice it starts with a U, Frankie Fresco.
Wow. I would.
And for anybody who can't pick up on
that
sarcasm,
is a fantastic.
I looked
trivia.
it up on Google.
That is a fantastic trivia question because I would have never guessed that, dude. Wow, what an annoying video on the fly in his face. Ugh, just bad. Just want you to know, bad. Nice job by you, Oscar Rojas. Big O, sooner or later, I will develop my left-hand throwing skills. James says, I don't watch any of that crap either. There you go. Rice Taylor with a second donation today. Thank you, sir. With his bank account figured and the super attractive wife he has every day, it's Tua's birthday. Is it Tua's birthday? No, it will be in March, but hey, what the hell? What?
March Tua was when he was born?
March
2nd?
Tua.
Right.
March Tua. That's it. That is funny. I've heard Screaming A in non-sports podcast. He actually is a lot more likable when he's off character. Really? You know what, Karun? Since I trust you, because after a while, I sense your texts and I get to really develop and understand who you people are sometimes. And Karun would be a person that I could trust. I could hang out with. So I may check him out for that stuff then. He was on target there. I was so proud of him. So proud of him because most of the media has taken a completely cowardly approach because they've got to be jock sniffers or they got to worry about pissing off the agent or whatever. And, so whatever. I don't worry about any of that. Kansas City are the smart guys. They unloaded all their baggage on the Dolphins. Well, that's how it's looked. Yeah. Frankie is one of the real ones on this chat. Besides, he's a Dolphin fan, so all is forgiven from me. Would you pay $16.99 for gator meat at the store? I got to tell you, I love gator bites.
Love me some gator bites.
Don't we have gator bites all the time at walk-ons?
What? Yes.
At walk-ons, we have gator bites all the time, dude. And they're delicious. They do a great job. Okay? And if you want some other gator bites too, Frankie, you could go also on 8th Street. And it's about 2.5 miles before you get to Chrome Avenue. So it's like 8th Street and 157th, maybe. Because there's really no numbers after like 147th, I think. There's nothing. So I want to say it's like 157, 160 or something. There's a barbecue right on this. That thing has been there 40, 50 years. It's been there forever. And they sell gator bites there, and they do a good job. Okay? Just so you'll know. I like gator bites. They're good. A little salty, but they're good. They're definitely good. So Perfect Q, if you know how to cook them, damn right I would pay $16.99 for some gator bites. Hells to the yeah. It's actually good food, man. Will Shannon get in trouble with ESPN? No.
You know he will, Frankie Fresco.
Oh, Shannon. Yeah, that's right. Is he on ESPN? Yes. Oh, that's right, because he joined them now in the morning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Frankie, you know how it is when you work for the corporations, bro. Yeah. Is gator meat tastier than crocodile meat? Oh, you answer that. I don't know anything about that.
It's not as salty. It depends on your taste, I guess.
I have no idea.
It's a little bit. I've heard people use the word gamier, but I don't know. I've never eaten like real game meat, so I don't know. But it's a real.
I have no idea.
But again, I've had gator usually at restaurants.
Right, that's all I've ever had.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know.
That's all I've only had gator bites at a couple places. I had one in Mobile too. I had it in Mobile. Because that's the kind of place you would get gator bites.
And again, I was told I was eating it one time. I don't necessarily know that it was Rolling Croc. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was told, but it was a little bit like saltier compared to what the gator bites that I've had.
The gator bites in walk-ons are delicious. Okay. All right. I love the walk-ons, folks. I felt bad for them because they were cock-blocked from above, unfortunately. Rick Ocasek, he was the man. And Benjamin Orr. Drew, Actually, my favorite singer out of the Cars is Benjamin Orr. I tend to gravitate more to Benjamin Orr songs than Rick Ocasek songs. I love them both, but I got to tell you, I think Benjamin Orr had the better voice for me. And by the way, he was the only guy that looked like a rock star on the Cars. That was the funny part about the Cars. The Cars, you could tell, were all smart geeks, right? And then Benjamin Orr was the one guy that looked like a rock star. The rest of the guys looked like they looked like they were part of a band that came in 5th place in the high school talent contest. That's what those guys looked like. You know what I'm saying? But Benjamin Orr with the blonde hair and the earring and the light eyes and all that, he had that look. You know, he's the only one that really looked like a rock star. The rest of the guys on the Cars did not whatsoever. And they're all fantastic musicians. They're a great band. God, they have so many great songs. It's unbelievable. But if you make me pick, I'm going Benjamin Orr over Rick Ocasek. So that's just me. Frankie says, secretly, you guys like the Gators. Yeah, to eat. Yeah. Big O, are you a lefty or a righty? Left. Well, hold on. That's not true. I eat left. I shoot left. I write left. I shoot right. I bat right. Eat left, right, left. So I'm not ambidextrous. So I don't write with both. I don't shoot with both. I don't bat with both. I bat right-handed, but I write left. I'm a complete weirdo. Like, total weirdo. I've only met like one other person in my lifetime that is like me, that is not really a righty or a lefty. They tend to do both of them, but there's no rhyme or reason why. I just learned that way. I don't know why. I have I can't tell you why I became a right-handed batter and why I'm a left-handed rider. I don't know. I'm just weird. That's it. That's all I can go with. I'm just going to go with weird. Maybe I should hang out with Trump. Let's see. Of course I like Weezer. What kind of a question is that? Who doesn't like Weezer? If you don't like Weezer, you're either like my age and you're just an old fuddy-duddy, or older and you're just, or you're really not into music. How do you not like Weezer? Are you kidding me? It's impossible. Let's see. A little known fact, Rick Ocasek discovered and signed Weezer. Wow. That's awesome. Drive is a great song. It is. Who's going to drive you home tonight? Agree on Benjamin Orr. Just What I Needed is my favorite car song. Yeah. His voice, dude. His voice was so... there are people, by the way, you can have fun with this. Some of you already know this already because we can tell by the conversation. But do you know that there are people that walk around that have no idea that Benjamin Orr is even a singer in the band? They literally think that Rick Ocasek is the only singer and sings all the songs. Because he was the face practically of the band, and because he was tall and stood out and was a lot of times front and center, the person that really doesn't follow music, they go, oh, that's the singer of the Cars. And those of us that know go, no, that's one of the two singers of the Cars. Huh? And then you start telling all the songs that Benjamin Orr sings, and you're like, oh, shit, I didn't realize that. And when you listen to the voices, they're completely different. But there are still people that walk around that think that Rick Ocasek is singing every single song of the Cars. I shit you not. I've had that conversation with people that really don't know much about music. Oh, yeah, I love that guy. I love the song and this, that. I'm like, yeah, that's not him singing that song. Yes, it is. He's the singer of the Cars. No, the Cars have 2 singers. And then you got to explain to them, no, this is Benjamin Orr, okay? It's just like, it's funny. You can catch people like that. Oscar, since you're Mr. Trivia, have fun with people that are kind of novices, and they know the Cars, and they will not even know that Benjamin Orr sings. They'll have no idea. You will not believe how common that is. It's crazy. I've been a Dolphin fan ever since they were the only team in Florida. Same here. My dad was a retired WW2 veteran, and we lived in Pensacola. I'm a retired veteran of the U.S. Army, 21 years, and Dolphins #1. And James, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your service. On a day like today, where we lost a lot of people, and it wasn't servicemen, but it was firemen and first responders on 9/11. On a day that, man, we've got to remember those folks. A terribly sad day. And James, thank you for everything that you've done for us also. Oscar and Rojas, Moving in Stereo, iconic song, Fast Times. Yep. If I opened an invasive cafe in Florida, I would have pythons, snakehead, fish, and iguana at the front of the menu. Ooh, I want a barbecue iguana. Yes. Then you could get me on a Mexican radio. Big O, my son is the same way. How did it happen? Because I don't remember. I don't remember how it happened. I have no idea how it happened, how it developed, how I do one thing left and one thing right. And then if I try to do the other thing opposite, there's no chance I can do it. Like I could throw right-handed, yeah, fine. And then if I try to throw left-handed, even though I write left-handed, you look like you're throwing like a girl or something. I'm sorry if I'm insulting girls. But, you look awkward, in other words. It's weird, dude. If you're right lefty, you're a lefty, in my opinion. Yeah, but that's not... I can't bat lefty, Drew. I go to the plate and I bat righty. Can't do anything about... I eat righty. I shoot lefty. It's weird. No. Can't do it. True Fin Fan says, I'm completely ambidextrous. Wow. That's awesome. I can't wait because they're already developing. Have you seen the high school kid that throws with left and right? I can't wait to see that at the NFL level. It's going to happen. We're going to have that guy. We're now getting the Hunter kid in Colorado. So now NFL teams are going to have to decide, well, wait a minute. Do I play this kid at corner only? Or do I play him at wide receiver only? Or do I do what has never been done before? Do I play him two-way? And I don't know how you would do that when he's a corner. Right? Because you've got to play him every down pretty much. Unless you're going to...
That's what happens to him at Colorado now.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And by the end of the game, he's...
What do you expect?
If you need him, you can't call on him because he's been doing it.
He's done.
Yeah.
So you either play him corner in one series and then receiver the next series and then give him off. But it's...
I think you bring him in like you would be like a specialist. If you know the package is for him, depending on what you think he's better, a cornerback or a receiver, then use him in that package. But I wouldn't make a package for him on defense. To make smart, start him at corner and then have a package for him on offense and bring him in.
Right, for specific situations. That's probably what you would do.
Yep. Did you see that on
Because
Twitter?
Ohtani is going to start this now. There are going to be kids out there that are going to want to now pitch and bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And to be honest, if it starts almost like high school, college level, that's when they stop letting pitchers really hit.
Right.
Unless you're like this,
you're an amazing
hitter where you're batting 1,000 or whatever.
You're a real hitter.
Yeah, but for the most part, that's where it starts, and then I think now you'll start seeing more getting that opportunity.
Eventually, we'll see the guy that can take a snap and roll left and throw left, and then take a snap, roll right and throw right. That's going to be freaking awesome. Awesome. If you can find that guy that can be accurate, because there's this kid in high school. It's on Instagram or TikTok or something. I don't know. But the kid is zipping it everywhere, bro, left and right and accurate and running and all that. And that is pretty cool. And that's a weapon, because everybody that can roll one way, they're not as good rolling the other way. It's a harder thing for them. If they're a lefty to roll righty, if they're a righty to roll lefty and all that, it becomes a little bit of more of a challenge for them. But if that guy that can roll either way and throw, woo, that's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be, and it's coming, huh? You got him? What's his name?
Mikey Go. Ambidextrous junior quarterback who plays for Mustang High School in Oklahoma.
There you go.
There's videos on there that went viral, over 2 million views of him throwing accurately both right.
You got to check that out
and
if you haven't seen
left-handed. That's the thing. It's accurate too. It's not just being able to throw it.
Bro, that's my shit just
accurate.
with a quarterback. Like, once I know you're not accurate, you turn me off already, dude. Like, it's hard for me to believe. If you haven't noticed that, like Ryan Tannehill or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or what, once I see you cannot be consistent, I lose all hope in you, pretty much. Cam Newton, whatever it is, all those kind of cats, now you're accurate, brother. I am sexually aroused. I'm not so worried about your arm strength. I worry about your accuracy more than anything. Ball placement, anticipatory skills. To me, that's why I love the freaking hell out of Tua as a player, because I think he's a phenomenal passer. Period. He's not the athlete that Lamar and Josh Allen are or ever will be, but I don't care. He's way better than both those guys passing the ball. He's going to give his receivers a way better chance to make plays than those guys will. And that's where and so to me, that's what's impressive about that kid. It's not that he can throw right and left. It's that he throws it accurate, dude. That's everything. And he's smart. Well, if he's smart and if he's got a high IQ and good work ethic, then that's awesome. That is awesome. Didn't Deion Sanders play wide receiver once in a while? I think he did a little bit, maybe on a route or two or something, but he was mostly a returner. I think they might have lined him up at receiver once or twice, but not much. He didn't play receiver. They might have used him in a gimmick play or something like that, but it was
a package for him. They had they brought him
but
in.
It was mostly returner. That's what he was, a cornerback returner. Those were his full-time gigs. He did some of that because I watched his career, but he wasn't really a receiver. That wasn't what they made him to do. Now, that's not to say that he couldn't become one, because I wouldn't put anything past Deion Sanders. I never will. I don't underestimate Deion Sanders. I don't care how he started the season or anything like that. Deion's done plenty to convince me over the years. Let's see. Willie says, you are just like me, Big O. Wow. So there you go. I bet righty too, bro. That's what Drew says. There's a lot of people that can do some things with either hand or legs. Very few that can do both exactly the same way. I can to this day. It amazes people. I can't. There's no way. Shannon Sharp saying his phone got hacked. LOL. Oh, well, they all say the phone got hacked. Chad Pennington did not have a strong arm, but he was accurate. Yeah, Chad Pennington was a heck of a quarterback. It's just the injuries took a toll on his body. It's not his fault, dude. It's just that's unfortunately the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? By the way, R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall, they can help you out here in South Florida, folks. When we talk about complete remodel, full-blown out there, you need to do to your home, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing your terrace, balcony, flood test report, all those things, very important nowadays. Impact windows and door installations, bathroom upgrades, floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repairs, interior and exterior paint, drywall with a level 5 finish. Miami-Dade, Broward counties, folks, they can help you with your new high rises and in custom homes, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, all those kind of things. Upgrades such as kitchens, bathrooms, floorings, wood floor, tile. They do it all. Please call my friends, Ray Martinez. They will take care of you. 305-345-3649. Save it on that cell phone. 305-345-3649. You've been thinking about taking that home to the next level, and you want to improve that living room space or the outdoor area or anything, or you want to redo the entire home. Whatever it is. Maybe you had some damage and you got a check from the insurance company and you're ready to remodel the home. Call Ray at R&M Contractors. They can help you out. 305-345-3649. Do you remember when Tim McKyer wanted to play wide receiver and pushed to get traded away from when Shula told him no? Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Tim McKyer was constantly running his mouth. I remember that too. Roy Green started out playing wide receiver in DB his first couple of seasons before the Cardinals permanently made him a wide receiver, and a hell of a wide receiver he was. Yes, Roy Green. Neil Lomax, right, was his quarterback. Neil Lomax, and then Neil had all kinds of injury issues, right? Hip and elbow, if I remember correctly. He was a good quarterback, Neil Lomax. Neil Lomax is one of those guys that will go down in history like the guy that played for the Falcons and the Rams. Was it Chris Anderson or Chris Johnson or something? He was a good quarterback and always had injuries. And there's a couple of those guys in my history of watching football that you looked at him and said, dude, if that guy didn't have all the injuries, he might have been a pretty good quarterback, overall. And Neil Lomax was one of those guys. He was a solid quarterback, dude. Solid quarterback. He was a sack of injuries. That's what I remember with Neil Lomax. But he could play the game. I wasn't going to tell you he's elite or anything, but he was a solid quarterback, man. Yeah, I remember that. I remember those days. Roy Green was special. Let's see if he could have stayed healthy. He was a good leader, and I believe was the last quarterback that led the Dolphins to an Eastern Division championship. Yeah, but that was more about the Wildcat and the defense, and he didn't make mistakes. He threw 20 touchdowns and 3 or 5 interceptions or something. He had a solid season. He kept away from turnovers. But I remember saying this, and I don't know if anybody's going to remember this, but I remember that when Pennington got here, his first pass in practice, he throws it down the sideline. It hits Ted Ginn on the head. I turned to Omar, and I said, Dolphins got their quarterback. They'll make the playoffs this year. Just with that one play. Because I knew the Dolphins had a good enough playoff team to make the playoffs. All they needed was a guy that could, not screw it up. And that's basically what he was. But then I warned Dolphin fans, he's a guy that can get you to the playoffs, not really win in the playoffs. And that's exactly what he was. He had enough talent to get you there, but by the time we got Chad Pennington, he wasn't nearly the Pennington that the Jets got fresh out of what's the name of that place? Marshall. Yeah, that one had a little stronger arm. He was in better shape. The one we had was already fragile and kind of broken down. And as you noticed, that next injury, he was done. It was over. So, yeah, tough one, man. Big O, after the first preseason and first game, what do you think of the new kickoff rule? It's better than the old one. That's all I can tell you. Not Jim Everett. Jim Everett was a choker. He did have talent, but he was a choker. I think it's Chris. It was Chris Johnson, Chris Anderson. Played for the Falcons and the Rams. Chris Chandler. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mace Taggart. Thank you. Very good. Chris Chandler. That's it. That's the one. Jim Everett got enough. Yes. Jim Rome. Yes. Chris. I love Chad Pennington. I rooted for him big time. How can you not root for Chad Pennington, dude? He's a phenomenal human being. I always thought Pennington would be a great coach. He probably would have been. He just probably didn't want to be. Big O, if you were an agent and had the choice to represent Tyreek or Watson and you had to choose one, God, I have to choose one?
Can you just close the business?
Yeah, can I just close the business?
Got no other clients?
Right. How about how about no clients? Tyreek,
new career.
Or what? Yeah, completely new career.
I'd rather coach the Gators.
There you go. I'd rather coach the Gators. That's the best answer right there. Yeah. But okay, gun to head. I'm a Miami guy, so I got to go with Tyreek because I'm in Miami, so I got to stay here. You know, you want me to go to Cleveland? You want me to watch Cleveland games? You want me to root for Cleveland? No, I can't do that. Nothing against you folks in Cleveland or the Browns or anything, but I'm a Miami guy. So I would have to be stuck with Tyreek. Tyreek would hate me as an agent because I'd be more like his father and tell him, yo, you can't do this, dude. Oh, the cops roughed me up. Yes, they did. But why are you driving 60 miles an hour? You know, because he would not want to hear. I'm going to tell him what he doesn't want to hear. But the problem is, in his world, he is surrounded by enablers. And when you're surrounded by enablers, whether it's your agent, the people around you, your family members, your friends, or the Miami Dolphins, because they are now enablers, this is what happens. So, yeah, Frankie, I'm stuck with Tyreek because I want my Dolphins to win. I'm hoping this guy stops doing stupid things for the next 2 years, so maybe he can play at his best and not be missing any games and not get suspended or something. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're out of here. We thank Herbie and all the great people out here at Toyota of Hollywood, man. They always make it nice and easy for us. We are out here every second Wednesday of the month, and we'll be out here next month again. Hopefully we'll see Herbie. That lucky bastard. He's in Vegas right now, man. Love it. Anyways, thanks to everybody that sent in a super chat. If you also made a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, you can do that at any time, and we appreciate it. You can always make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We will see you all tomorrow morning. I'll be back. Short show at 10 a.m., maybe 10 to 10:45, 11 o'clock, and then we'll be back for our Dolphins pre- and post-game show. See you all tomorrow right here on the Big O Radio Show.